Hello, good morning everyone. Hari Om. I'm Kashish Das from the Missile City of India and an active member of the Brahmo Samaj Odisha, and I will be your anchor for session 2.1. I hope all of you had a refreshing morning and a delicious breakfast. Some faces are glowing with devotion and some are glowing because the coffee was too strong. I request everyone to kindly take their seats, settle down, and get comfortable because we have a beautiful and inspiring session ahead. Before we begin today's session, let's take a quick recap of day one, especially for those who joined us newly today. Yesterday morning, we began our historic 134th All India Brahmo Conference with a grand and heartfelt flag hosting ceremony conducted by our conference president, Srimati Rekha Shahani. This was followed by the inaugural session graced by our Honorable Governor of Telangana, Shri Jishnudev Verma, as our chief guest. After the session, we gathered for a group photograph capturing beautiful memories and smiling faces. Then came the part everyone enjoyed very much, lunch, because spiritual path is easier when stomach is full. Post lunch, we had sessions dedicated to the social reforms carried across India. Our guest of honor, Mr. Wasim Alai, founder of Dhan Foundation, addressed the gathering with his powerful insights on rural development and social empowerment. We also had an all-India competition and Mr. Wasim Alai announced the winners and distributed the prizes. Congratulations to all the winners once again. After that, we witnessed a very impactful panel discussion on a reform, carrying forward the legacy of Indian reformers, moderated by Sri Ravi Shankar Banda from Hyderabad. The panelists were real-life social change makers, each sharing their journey through challenges and their vision for a better India. The ideas were filled with action plans and real work and real hope. In the evening, we had prayer by Indore Brahmo Samaj, followed by a beautiful and melodious Sangeet Upasana. So yes, day one was historic, meaningful, and deeply inspiring. Now let us begin today's session with thanking Param Brahma once again for giving us this wonderful opportunity to gather, reflect, and connect with each other. Let's just play for 2 minutes to Param Brahma. To begin our morning on a divine note, we will now have Brahmopasana. Today's Upasana will be conducted by Dr. Dilip Jog and Dr. Shushma Jog. Dr. Dilip Jog is the trustee and secretary of Pune Prarthana Samaj, former head department, Physics, SP Pune University, a learned scholar, spiritual practitioner, and lifelong educator. Dr. Shushma Jog, trustee and president of Pune Prarthana Samaj, former head Department of Chemistry, Modern College, Pune, a respected academician and guiding force for many students. Sir and Madam, we request you to kindly lead us in Brahmopasana. The stage is all yours now.
Namaskar, everyone, children particularly. This Upasana will be conducted for the children. So please excuse me if some naive narration is there. So we start the Upasana by chanting the name of Parabrahma. So this we call as Gajar. And this is how we sing in Prarthana Samaj.
जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला
जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला
जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला
जय जय परब्रह्म
वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जगन्नाथ मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला
मंगला जय जय परब्रह्म वत्सला. He is Lord of the universe, Jagannatha. He is benevolent, Mangalakaraka. He loves us like a mother, with selfless love. He is the Parabrahma, Devadhideva. Raja Rammohan Roy, founder of Brahmo Samaj, described him thus.
ভাবুষে একে ভাবুষে একে জলে স্থলে শুনে যে সমানো ভাবে ঠাকে ভাবসে একে যে রচিল এই সংসার যে রচিল এ সংসার আদি অন্ত নাহি যার, যে জনে সকল কেহ নাহি জানে, তাকে ভাব সেই একে ध्यान करो एक पे, जल स्थल अंतराल जो समानता से व्यापे, ध्यान करो एक पे। जिसने रचाया इस विश्व को, आदि अंत नाही जिसको, जिसने रचाया इस विश्व को, आदि अंत नाही जिसको, जो सब जाने सब अनजाने, उस एक से ध्यान करो एक पे। तमीश्वराणां परमं महेश्वरं, तन्देवतानां परमञ्च दैवतं, पतिं पतीनां परमं परस्तात्, विदामदेवं भुवनेशं ভাবো সেই একে। Let us meditate on the one. उसी एक पे ध्यान करो। वो जो एकमेव है वह हर जगह है, जल में, स्थल में, अंतराल में, सभी ओर है। वह सर्वव्यापी है। इस विश्व की रचना उसी ने की। विश्व की हर वस्तु में, विश्व की हर वस्तु को उसने जन्म दिया है, यानी हर वस्तु की शुरुआत है। हर वस्तु अपना समय पूरा हो जाने के बाद, हर प्राणी, हर पौधा अपना समय पूरा हो जाने के बाद उसका अंत हो जाता है। लेकिन उस एकमेव की कोई शुरुआत नहीं, उसका कोई अंत भी नहीं। दुनिया का निर्माण होने से पहले भी वह था और दुनिया का अंत होने के बाद भी वह वही रहेगा। उसका अंत संभव नहीं। वह जो एक है वो सब जानता है, लेकिन कोई भी उसको पूरी तरह से जान नहीं सकता। वह अपने समझने से परे है। When this composition of Raja Ram Mohan Roy is rendered, it is usually followed by the verse from the Shvetashvatar Upanishad, which I rendered, Tamishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. In this verse, the One is described as the Supreme One. He is the God of all gods, the deity of all deities, the Lord of all the lords, greater than the greatest. He is the glorious Lord of this universe. He is the one who is worthy of worship. This verse from Shvetashvatar Upanishad clears all our doubts about the large number of deities that we come across in our country and also abroad. We come across different people bowing down before different deities. These deities have different virtues. किसी देवता को बुद्धि की देवता मानते हैं, किसी देवता को धन की देवता मानते हैं, और ये आज ही नहीं पहले भी था। मनुष्य की एक खासियत है, वह हर गुण को, हर अच्छी चीज़ को अलग अलग देवता के रूप में देखता है। उपनिषद काल के ऋषि हमें बताते हैं इस पद में कि कितने भी अलग अलग देवता स्वामी क्यों न हो, उन सब से विश्रेष्ठ जो है वह एक ही है, वह सर्वव्यापी है, इसलिए सबसे बड़ा है, वह ब्रह्म तत्व है। सो जो भी देवता हम देखते हैं हमारे आजू बाजू में, उन सबसे परे सबसे श्रेष्ठ है ब्रह्म तत्व, उसी पर हमें ध्यान करना है। आज से 250 साल पहले हमारे देश में बंगाल में राजा राम मोहन रॉय का जन्म हुआ। उन्होंने वेद और उपनिषदों का अध्ययन करके यह जाना कि विश्व को निर्माण करने वाला और विश्व में समाकर रहने वाला एकमात्र ब्रह्म स्वरूप परमेश्वर है। राजा राम मोहन रॉय से पहले भी संतों ने ये जाना था। 13वीं और 14वीं सदी में, यानी आज से 700 साल पहले, महाराष्ट्र के संत नामदेव भारत के उत्तर पश्चिमी इलाकों तक गए। उधर पंजाब के घुमान गांव में 25 साल उनका वास रहा। उन्होंने भागवत धर्म की ध्वजा पंजाब तक लहराई। अपने अभंगों द्वारा, कीर्तनों द्वारा एक भगवान के गुण लोगों को समझाए। संत नामदेव के बाद 15वीं सदी में कुछ 500 साल पहले पंजाब में गुरु नानक का जन्म हुआ। Sikhism, put forth by Guru Nanak, also shows devotion towards one God, the Satya Swarup, काल के परे, सत श्री अकाल. Guru Granth Sahib of Sikhs has Sant Namdev's compositions in it. 4 दिन पहले ही हमारे देश में कार्तिक पूर्णिमा के दिन गुरु नानक की 556वीं जयंती मनाई गई। गुरु नानक की एक रचना हम यहाँ अब सुनेंगे।
There is only one God. His name is Truth. He is the Creator. He is without fear. He is without hate. He is beyond time. He is beyond birth and death. He is self-existent. Meditate on Him. For He was when time began, He has been true for ages. He is still true. Guru Nanak says, He will forever be true. So that is how Guru Nanak described him. Very similar to what the Brahman as seen by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, as it is described in Upanishads and Vedas. तो ब्राह्मण समाज और प्रार्थना समाज ये ब्रह्म की उपासना करते हैं. A few days ago, we have seen the fury of monsoon, and we saw flooding and landsliding in Himachal and Uttarakhand. We have seen the pictures on TV. At the same time, we see green fields and growing crops in these fields, the beautiful waterfalls in the mountains, rivers flowing in full speed, clouds hovering over the mountains, flock of birds flying in a group, in a row. The clear night sky, if you see in the night, if it's clear, we see the planets, galaxies, stars, and so on. We can watch beautiful solar eclipses. When we see a flower blooming, the complicated structure of the flower and the fascinating colors, they raise questions in our mind. जब हम ये पूरा निसर्ग देखते हैं तो मन में बहुत सवाल उठते हैं. If you have inquisitive mind, you will have several questions and you try to search answers. Yes, who is the children? Please look after the children. And then in our mind we have various emotions like extreme gratitude, gratefulness, fear, safety and satisfaction, astonishment, excitement, and so on. All these emotions which lead us to think about the creator of this wonderful world. The emotional picture created in our mind is the God. वही है जो भगवान कहते हैं, ये इमोशन से जो चित्र आपके मन में उभर आता है वही ईश्वर का चित्र है. Rabindranath Tagore, when he was just 12 years old, he went to Amritsar along with his father, Brahmarshi Devendranath Tagore. And one morning, Devendranath was busy with visitors. He told Rabindranath to go to the Golden Temple and pay a visit. Rabindranath went to Golden Temple, and then when he returned, Devendranath asked him, "What did you do there? What did you see?" He said, "I heard a beautiful bhajan." And Devendranath said, "Okay, can you sing that bhajan?" Rabindranath, had so many qualities. And he was also ekapati. Once he recited, it will be permanent in his mind. So immediately he presented that bhajan to him. That bhajan is this: He Hari Sundara, He Hari Sundara. हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, तेरो चरण पर सिर नवे. हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर. सेवक जन के सेव सेव पर, सेवक जन के सेव सेव पर, प्रेमी जन के प्रेम प्रेम पर, प्रेमी जन के प्रेम प्रेम पर, दुखी जना के वेदन वेदन, दुखी जना के वेदन वेदन, सुखी जना के आनंद है। हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर। सरिता बना बना में सावल सावल, बना बना में सावल सावल, गिरी गिरी में उन्नत उन्नत, गिरी गिरी में उन्नत उन्नत। सरिता सरिता चंचल चंचल, सरिता सरिता चंचल चंचल, सागर सागर गंभीर है। हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर। चंद्र सूरज पर निर्मल दीपा, चंद्र सूरज वर निर्मल दीपा, तेरो जग मंदिर उजियारा है। हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, तेरो चरण पर सिर नवे। हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर, हे हरि सुंदर।
O Hari, O remover of our calamities, O remover of our confusion, O remover of our ignorance, O Hari, you are very beautiful. We bow down to you. You are in the service that people render to deprived. You are in the love of loving people. You are in the pang of the people having sorrows. You are the bliss in the happiness of people. You are the soothing, cooling shadow of trees in the forest. You are in the height of the mountains. You are in the flowing of rivers. You come to us and pacify our thirst. You are in the solemnity of ocean. The universe is your temple, which is lit by the pure light of the lamps, which are sun and moon and the innumerable stars you created. We bow down to you, Hari, O Sundar.
Brahmarshi Devendranath Tagore, he combined 4 verses from Upanishads and gave us the Moola mantra to our Brahmo and Prarthana Samajas. Om Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Anandarupam Amrutam Yadvibhati Shantam Shivam Advaitam Shuddham Apapavidham. He is the truth, store of knowledge, of perfect bliss, and of immortality, of peace, of piousness, of purity. He is in unison with the universe. He is unblemished by evil. All these virtues, they scale up to infinity. So these are about 10 virtues. So a bundle of 10 virtues is what is God. God is not somebody sitting somewhere at the top with four hands and like that, like a human body. No. Parmeshwar Nirakar hai. He doesn't have a body like we have. But as Upanishads describe, he can see without eyes, he can hear without ears, and he can place his hand on our head and bless us. बच्चों आपने पानी देखा है, पानी H2 and 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, that makes water molecule, है ना? And if we have this water filled in a bottle, it will take the shape of bottle. If we pour it into, of course, the river or a nali, then it will take the shape of the nali or the river. If we boil this water, पानी को उबाल लिया तो क्या होता है, भाप बन जाती है. We can see some vapors, but later we do not see the vapors. They will mix up. The water molecules, they get mixed up in the air. But if somebody searched water on Mars, yes, there is also some water, and this was detected spectroscopically by scientists. So that water is the same, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. If there is water on a comet, they say the head of the comet is made of ice. There is a lot of ice. What ice? The same H2 and O. So वैसे ये ब्रह्मा है. It is everywhere. It is existing everywhere. But it will take the form or shape you want to see it in. But it does not have any form on its own. But it has properties. Therefore, these virtues the Brahman has no shape. So some people might say, okay, I worship Lord Ganesha. Some people may say, okay, I worship Goddess Saraswati. So they find their God in that particular form. But as Upanishads say, this is only the mortal form. Any idol is a mortal form, while Brahman is immortal. Brahman has no birth, no death. Brahman is there right from the birth of this universe. उससे पहले से Brahman है. You know our solar system, you must have studied in your books, our solar system. तो ये सूरज जो बाहर अपने रोशनी देता है, उसकी भी आयु है. उसकी आयु 5 अब्ज वर्ष हो गई और अभी 5 अब्ज वर्ष बचे हैं. इतने आयु है उसकी. उसके बाद क्या होगा? वो जो सूरज है वो बड़ा 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 हो जाएगा. जैसे उसमें से ईंधन जो है ना हाइड्रोजन का, जैसे वो समाप्त हो जाएगा तो सूरज बड़ा 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 होकर अपनी पृथ्वी को भी उसके अंदर लेके जाएगा. At that time, the temperature of the earth will be 2000 degrees. अभी बहुत टाइम है, हमने घबराने की जरूरत नहीं. अभी 5 अब्ज साल है उसके लिए. But there is an end. So all these things, entire universe that we see has an end, has a birth through the black body. Those who are interested in science, they must have read about black holes. So the birth will be again through the black hole. Our universe is also created when the entire universe was in the shape of a pea, just a pea. Then, because of the gravitational forces, there was an explosion, what we call as Big Bang. So this entire universe that we see around is a product of that Big Bang. तो the story that the Rishi Munis they created for us has a lot of similarity between what modern science is searching about the birth of the universe. There is a lot of similarity. Of course, then we cannot say that our Rishi Munis knew everything. No, no, that's wrong. That will be wrong. But because of their wisdom, because of their keen observations and thinking ability and philosophical mind, they had put all these verses in Upanishads. So, God, the Brahman, is like this H2O. Another example, बच्चों आपके लिए और एक एग्जाम्पल दे देता हूँ. जैसे कि सोने के बहुत सारे अलंकार होते हैं, है ना. नथनी होती है, माला होती है और कंगन होते हैं सोने के. जैसे आप बताएंगे वैसे वो स्वर्णकार उसको बनाता है. बट व्हेन इट इज मोल्टन, इट इज ओनली गोल्ड. तो वैसे ही है ब्रह्मन. यू विल सी वेरियस फॉर्म. पीपल सी ओ नो माय ऐसा है, मेरा क्रॉस है, मेरा गॉड इज देयर विच इज फॉर्मलेस, बट माय जीसस इज द ट्रू वर्शिपर. Somebody will say, no, no, my God is Gautam Buddha. No, no, my Lord is Ganesha. But, truly speaking, the God is only one. And as our own Upanishads have said, our own Vedas have said, God is only one. He has no particular form or shape, but He has all these virtues. So all this is a bundle of virtues. A quantum of all these virtues is God. And each virtue is infinite. And if we want to understand this God, if we want to worship, why worship? Because when will the worship be complete? When we will acquire these virtues which represent God. Truth, honesty, shanti, everything, all these virtues we want within us. Then along with our Atman, there will be Paramatman sitting in our mind, sitting in our अपने हृदय में. अब बोलते हैं, but it is actually in mind. So the purpose of a prayer, क्यों worship करना है God? I don't want to worship. All right, don't worship. But why do people worship God? The purpose of prayer is prayer of such a spiritual God is to acquire these virtues within us. Hence, with humility, by shedding our ego aside. With humility, if we pray Him, we can have at least some specks of these virtues. उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? मन में जगह जरूरी है. जो हमारा मन है वो षड रिपु से भरा हुआ है. क्रोध, राग, लोभ, मोह, मद, मत्सर, अहंकार, ego, enmity, all these fill our mind. And there is no place for God. So we want to, जो हमारे दुश्मन है वो पहले से मौजूद है हृदय में, तो उन्हें थोड़ा थोड़ा करके बाहर रखना चाहिए. That is why we are worshipping. तो संत कबीर का नाम तो आप जानते हैं. तो कबीर जी ने क्या कहा है? ये तो घर है प्रेम का. जो मन है ना वो एक्चुअली प्रेम का घर है, लव. खाला का घर नहीं. देयर इज नो प्लेस फॉर बुरे विचारों को, जगह नहीं. शीश उतारे भूई धरे. यू हैव टू हैव ह्यूमिलिटी. टच द ग्राउंड, बी ऑन द ग्राउंड लेवल. शीश उतारे भूई धरे, तब बैठे घर माई. देन देयर विल बी सम प्लेस इन योर घर. घर मीन्स योर माइंड. कबीर फर्दर सेज, अहंकार में तीनों गए. दैट अहंकार इज अ वेरी बैड थिंग. अभिमान किसी चीज का होना ये अच्छी बात है. So yesterday our Bhargav was telling, he is interested in tree plantation. Wonderful thing. So if some of you have planted a tree and grown it for a couple of years, वो अभिमान की चीज़ है, तो अभिमान चाहिए, मगर जब अभिमान बहुत बड़ा हो जाता है ना, तो दूसरों को तकलीफ होती है उसकी. Then it becomes अहंकार. अभिमान है तब तक ठीक है, जब वो अहंकार हो जाता है, वो ज्ञानी आदमी को भी नुकसान पहुंचा देता है. तो कबीर सेज अहंकार में तीनों गए. कौन तीनों गए वो बताते हैं आगे. धन, वैभव और वंश, तीनों खलास हो गए अहंकार के कारण. ना मनो तो देख लो. इफ यू वांट एन एग्जाम्पल तो देख लो कौन है वो तीन. रावण, कौरव और कंस. तो तीनों को अहंकार हुआ. तो सुषमा जी बताएंगे आपको कि कैसे उनका अंत हुआ.
In this doha of Kabir, in this doha, Sant Kabir has cited 3 examples where there was ultimate destruction as a result of piled up ego. अहंकार से अंत में नाश ही होता है, ये समझाने के लिए संत कबीर ने रामायण और महाभारत के उदाहरण दिए हैं इस दोहे में. रावण को अपनी ताकत पर इतना अहंकार हुआ कि उसने, वो बच्चों आप लोगों को रामायण पता है, कभी सुना है रामायण की कथा? तो थोड़ा सा उसे याद करो. वही इस दोहे में कबीर ने उसका जिक्र किया है. रावण को अपनी ताकत पर इतना अहंकार था कि उसने सीता मैया को उठाकर छीन लिया. और ये जो गलत काम उसने किया, उसके लिए राम ने अपने दूत हनुमान को रावण के पास भेजा कि सीता को वापस कर दो. लेकिन ये कहा रावण ने माना नहीं, क्योंकि उसे बहुत अहंकार था. सो उस अहंकार की वजह से उसने युद्ध तक मोल लिया. और परिणाम क्या हुआ? रावण का खुद का और उसके पूरे राक्षस कुल का युद्ध में विनाश हो गया. महाभारत में ऐसे ही 2 कथाएं उन्होंने जिक्र किया है उसका. कंस राजा जो था वो बहुत उन्मत्त हो गया और उसने अपनी बहन देवकी को और उसके पति वसुदेव को कारागृह में बंद कर दिया. देवकी के बच्चों को जन्मते ही वो मारने लगा. उसे ये अहंकार था कि मैं कंस हूँ और मुझे कोई भी मार नहीं सकता. लेकिन अंत में आपने महाभारत में पढ़ा होगा कि कृष्ण के हाथों कंस की मौत हो गई. महाभारत जो कथा है वो कौरव और पांडवों की कथा है मुख्यत्व से. सो कौरवों में भी अहंकार में पांडवों से अन्याय का बर्ताव किया. कौरव 100 थे और पांडव सिर्फ 5 थे. तो महाभारत का युद्ध जब आरंभ हुआ तो कौरवों को अहंकार था कि हम पांडवों को हरा देंगे. लेकिन उनकी अहंकार की वजह से हमने देखा है महाभारत में कि 100 कौरवों का अंत हो गया. उनके कोई वंशज तक नहीं बचे और सिर्फ पांडव ही बच गए. सो अहंकार का परिणाम विनाश में होता है, ऐसा ही हम सभी जगह देखते हैं. सो इफ द अरिषड वर्गास आर ड्रिवन अवे फ्रॉम द माइंड, then the incipient divine virtues in our mind can develop. We have to take efforts, strive to understand that God dwells within us in the form of a very small fraction of these virtues. So God is sarvavyapi, all pervading, and God is these virtues, saguna. It means that the virtues of God are also within us, but to very small extent. And God has left us to develop these virtues within us. And as Dilipji said just now, for that you have to remove the Arishad Vargas from your mind. Then there will be some place created for this growth of the virtues.
So our mind must be free of ego and must be filled with love towards all and hatred towards none. Hey Paramatman, inspire us to be friends of all living creatures. Help us to become free from false ego. Bhagavan, make us more truthful, tolerant, satisfied. May we be engaged in righteous deeds and please show us the path of rationalism and of scientific attitude. Bless us, bless us, bless us. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Rudra Ehi Rudra Yatte Dakshinam Mukham Te Namam Pahi Nityam. We always say Om Brahma Krupahi Kevalam.
So, what is this Brahma Krupa? Brahma, we have seen so far, tried to understand what is Brahma. So, the all pervading principle which we pay respect as the Parameshwara. And we say that Parameshwara, the Brahma, is always showering the Krupa on us. So everything that we experience is the result of Brahma Krupa. Sometimes we have a doubt on this. When we see around what is happening, we feel that, can this be called Brahma Krupa? Or is it curse that we are experiencing? So, what is this Brahma Krupa? And when are we receiving this Brahma Krupa? And when we develop this feeling that really everything that we have is because of the benevolence of the Paramatman Brahman. Now, God has created this universe. God has created us. And therefore, we call God our mother and father. That's true. But it is not that God has directly given us the birth. He has given us the birth through the medium of our biological parents, right? So, in other words, the entire universe, which is created by God, is full of the various mechanisms by which the various components of the universe, they follow their own gati, motion. The broad picture of this motion or gati is that every unit, every component of the universe is bound by two ends: birth, creation, and death or the destruction. And between these two ends is the life or the span of existence of those, whether they are living beings or non-living beings. For everything, this gati is there. And who has given this gati? Who has decided that at this point of time there will be a birth of a particular unit, and that particular unit or that prani or that plant will keep or go through the life for this period and then it will get destructed or the death will take place. Who has decided? So these laws are created and every unit, they follow these laws, which we call laws of nature. But these laws, they are created, we can say that, by God. So these natural laws, natural phenomena, they are created by God and they follow the certain rules, laws. And these rules we obey. So because of these rules, the things are happening. As far as we consider the life of human beings, then God has given us birth and left us in the Bhavasagar. And it is us. He has given us the abilities. Now we know, we have learnt that man is at the top of the pyramid of the evolution. So man has such a ability that man can command over the entire other life, the other lives. So these abilities are given to man and man is given freedom to execute these abilities. So the God or Brahman has given us the abilities and left it for us to decide how to make use of these abilities. And if we don't use these abilities prudently, then destruction is bound to occur. So the bad things that we experience, see around us, they are not just the result of some intervention of God. God doesn't intervene, Parabrahma doesn't intervene, but He has left us to follow the rules that He has created, and He has left us to use our prudence to do the various things. So as mentioned by Dr. Dilip Jog before about the incidents that happened in June in our country, the Air India flight, it crashed immediately after the takeoff was done. So at that point, when we read that news in the paper, or many people have actually seen it and many have experienced, can we call that as Brahma Krupa? Well, it is certainly, that description is not proper. So what has happened? Parmeshwar has given us the various abilities, and by using those abilities, we have made a lot of progress and developed so many equipments and technologies have been developed. And then how to use those technologies and how to make them perfect and how to follow the procedures without committing any mistake, everything is dependent on us. So God doesn't interfere there. God doesn't tell us from there, oh, that you have done wrong. No. He does if we ask Him. So by keeping our mind very calm, if earnestly we pray God and ask for His advice, He does give us advice in the form of the reasoning, viveka. So that viveka that shines in our mind, viveka buddhi, to decide which is correct, which is wrong. So that we can do only if we are at peace. If we are under tension, we lose our vivek. That means we lose our contact with God. And when we are peaceful, when we are comfortable, that communication with God can be established if we wish to. And then God tells us what is right and what is wrong. So it depends on all these things. So when we don't do that, then the errors take place and mishaps occur. So for the mishap, we have not to blame the God, but we have to blame ourselves because we have not followed the rules of God. We have forgotten what is God at that moment of time. We have forgotten God, and therefore we have done some errors, mistakes, and which has resulted in that particular mishap. So in this fashion, even though there are many things which are not beneficial for us, still we cannot blame God for those. It is us, and we are misusing our powers that God has given us. So that is the result of our own erroneous working. So God has created this world certainly not to destroy it. Every unit in this universe is bound by, as I mentioned, the gati, creation, birth, followed by a certain period of existence, and then the end of that existence. But God has made provision for existence of every unit for that certain period of time. Now our human life, it survives only because of food. Again, in yesterday's panel discussion, we have seen the importance of this food for human and how wasting the food makes the people starve. Many people, for their starvation, the answer is improper use of or proper distribution of the food. So that is up to us. But God has made the provision to create or generate food. So in this fashion, हर एक चीज़ को, हर प्राणी को अपने अस्तित्व का काल निभाने के लिए भगवान ने अलग अलग क्षमताएं दी हैं, ताकतें दी हैं. ऐसा ही हम देखते हैं कि बीज को भगवान ने ताकत दी है. एक बीज जो होता है उसमें वृक्ष बनने की ताकत है, जो प्रॉपरली उसे if we sow that seed properly in the land or in the soil, then that seed will grow into a big tree. So उस बीज के अंदर भगवान ने ज्ञान भरा है. We call that knowledge as the genes, or there are DNAs and RNAs within the seeds, and they decide how that seed will grow into the big tree. So that DNA is the description of science. But who made that DNA? Or who decided that DNA will be used to control all these things? So again, ultimately it comes to God. So man has not created DNAs. Man has not created the genes. Man has just discovered that genes are there and they control everything. But who made the genes? So भगवान ने उनको ताकत दी है और उसके उगने के बाद वो वृक्ष में बदल जाता है. ऐसा ही एक पद है, वो हम We are 1 hour. So we started at 9:15. Okay, so 10:15.
You want us to stop now?
10:15. Go ahead. आदि विजय शुरू कर. आदि विजय. So we'll sing a bhajan which is not composed by any saint, but it is in one of the Marathi movies, Sant Tukaram. आधी बीज एकले.
आधी बीज एकले, आधी बीज एकले, आधी बीज एकले. बीज अंकुरले रोप वाढले, बीज अंकुरले रोप वाढले, बीज अंकुरले रोप वाढले आधी बीज एकले एका बीजापोटी तरुकोटी कोटी जन्म घेती सुमने फळे कोटी जन्म घेती सुमने फळे कोटी जन्म घेती सुमने फळे आधी बीज एकले आधी बीज एकले व्यापुनी जगता तू ही अनंता व्यापुनी जगता तू ही अनंता बहुविध रूपे घेसी घेसी परिअंती ब्रह्म एकले बहुविध रूपे घेसी घेसी परिअंती ब्रह्म एकले आदि बीज एकले बीज अंकुरले रोप वाढले बीज अंकुरले रोप वाढले आधी बीज एकले.
So there is only one seed in the beginning, but that fertilizes, and then you get a big tree, and from that one seed you get thousands and crores of flowers and fruits, and again many seeds are produced. So in the same manner, O God, you are pervading this universe, and you are taking different forms, but you are finally, ultimately, you are alone the one. Okay, so we now conclude because the time limit is there and the anchor has told us about the time. Though the prayer was started late, we have to conclude in time. So we conclude this prayer, Upasana, by singing the universal prayer composed by Saint Jnaneshwar. In this universal prayer, which is called Pasayadan, Jnaneshwar is praying God for the welfare of the entire universe. And God, he requests or prays God to give everyone everything that he wants. But before that, he has prayed that God should remove the darkness and he should remove the दुष्ट वृत्ति जो है दुष्ट लोगों की, वो निकालने के लिए, वो नष्ट करने के लिए ज्ञानेश्वर ने भगवान की प्रार्थना की है कि जो खल हैं, जो दुष्ट हैं, उनकी दुष्टता नष्ट हो. सो खल लोगों की दुष्टता जब नष्ट हो जाएगी तब क्या होगा? सब लोग अच्छे ही होंगे. दुष्टता अगर नष्ट हुई, सो दुष्टों का नाश नहीं मांगते ज्ञानेश्वर, वो बोलते हैं दुष्टों की दुष्टता नष्ट करो. सो सब लोग उनकी दुष्टता नष्ट होने के बाद अच्छे ही बन जाएंगे. तो अच्छे लोगों की इच्छा भी अच्छी ही होती है, तो जिनकी जो इच्छा है वो पूरी हो जाए, ऐसा ज्ञानेश्वर ने मांगा है. सो दुष्ट की दुष्टता नष्ट होने जाने के बाद सब अच्छे बनेंगे और सब अच्छे लोग हैं और सबकी मनोकामनाएं पूर्ण हो जाए. लेकिन ये कैसा संभव है कि जग में इतने सारे लोग हैं और उनकी मनोकामना कैसे पूर्ण हो और उनकी दुष्टता कैसे नष्ट हो? तो उन्होंने बताया है कि इसलिए सब लोगों को अच्छे लोगों का सहवास प्राप्त हो, सज्जनों का सहवास प्राप्त हो. सो सज्जनों का सहवास सबको मिला तो सब लोग अपनी दुष्टता छोड़ देंगे और अच्छे बन जाएंगे। और ये कहते हुए उन्होंने सज्जन कितने अच्छे होते हैं इसका बयान किया है। वो चंद्रमा से भी अच्छे हैं, क्योंकि चंद्रमा पे दाग है लेकिन सज्जनों में दाग नहीं है। वो सूर्य से भी बेहतर हैं, क्योंकि सूर्य में तेज है लेकिन आग है, सज्जनों में आग नहीं है। तो इस तरह वो सज्जनों का बयान करते हैं। और इस तरह सब जगह पर ब्रह्म की कृपा हो जाए, ऐसा इस प्रार्थना का संदेश है। तो हम ऐसा प्रार्थना करते हैं अंत में कि हे भगवान, हम सब लोग जो हैं, हम अनेक बुरी आदतों के शिकार हैं, लेकिन हमें सज्जनों का सहवास प्राप्त हो, ताकि हमारी बुराइयां सब निकल जाएं और हम सब अच्छे बने। बच्चों, आपके लिए है कि आप लोग इन हैदराबाद ब्राह्म समाज के अच्छे लोगों के संपर्क में आए हैं, उनका सहवास आप सबको मिल रहा है, तो उसका आपको फ़ायदा होगा और आप पर भी ब्रह्म की कृपा होगी। सो पसायदान करके हम ये कंक्लूजन करते हैं। आता विश्वात्मके देवे येणे भाग्यज्ञे तोषावे तोषो निमज्यावे पसायदान हे पसायदान हे
देखळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रती वाढो भूतां परस्परे पडो मैत्र जीवाचे मैत्र जीवाचे दुरिताचे तिमिर जावो विश्व स्वधर्म सूर्य पाहो जो जे वांछील तो ते लाहो प्राणी जात वर्षत सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदी आडी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेट तू भूता भेट तू भूता चला कल्पतरूचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषाचे चंद्रमे जे अलांछन मातंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे होतु किं बहुना सर्वसुखी पूर्ण होनी तिधी लोकी भजिजो आदिपुरुखी अखंडित बणे श्री विश्वेश्वरावो हा होईल दान पसाओ हा होईल दान पसाओ येणे बरे ज्ञान देवो सुखिया जाला सुखिया जाला सुखिया जाला सर्वेपि सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु न कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् भवतु सर्वमङ्गलम् भवतु सर्वमङ्गलम् अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष मां परमेश्वर ॐ ब्रह्मकृपा हि केवलम्
Hello. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for that serene and spiritually elevating beginning. We are sorry for the inconvenience because of the time limitation. I request Dr. Ashoka Gurudas and Shovini Gurudas to present mementos to our Upasaks. Honorary speeches. These are not just speeches, these are blessings of experience. When seniors speak, their words are not just heard, they are absorbed in the mind and heart. I now invite Dr. Sunanda Ray Chaudhary, Mrs. Gopa Chanda, and Ms. Kalyanmay Chattopadhyay onto the stage, please. In mood, please, as it's creating a lot of disturbance, please. I hope you all understand. And I request everyone, whenever the guests speak, please maintain some decorum and some silence. Request Gopa ma'am to please take her seat as she can't be here with us on the stage. So I request her to be there, the seat that's provided for her. Chaudhary to the dais, Associate Professor of Hindi, Jogesh Chandra Chaudhary College, Kolkata, born in a Brahmo family, educated in Varanasi and Banaras, teaching since 1993, she will speak on the topic Contribution of Brahma Samaj and Brahma Kripa Hi Kevalam. Ma'am, the stage is all yours.
सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जयाजयौ ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूमा ते सङ्गोऽस्वकर्मणि योगस्थ कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय ॐ ब्रह्म ॐ ब्रह्म ॐ ब्रह्म। हैदराबाद भारत का अति महत्वपूर्ण शहर है। आर्थिक, सामाजिक, शैक्षिक सभी क्षेत्रों में अति उन्नत है। प्राकृतिक दृष्टि से भी संपन्न और समृद्ध है। हैदराबाद निवासियों को मेरा नमन। हैदराबाद में 134वां ब्रह्म सम्मेलन बड़े पैमाने में पालन हो रहा है। साथ ही ईयर 1925 से लेकर ईयर 2025 तक के शतवर्ष पूर्ति के दौरान कई बार दक्कन ब्राह्म समाज हैदराबाद में ब्राह्म कॉन्फ्रेंस होते रहे हैं। अतः आप सभी को मेरा हार्दिक अभिनंदन, अभिवादन। आज मेरे वक्तव्य का विषय ब्राह्म समाज का योगदान और ब्रह्म कृपा ही केवलम है। अभी तक प्रातःकालीन ब्रह्मोपासना में जोग दंपति महाशया ने विशद रूप में भारतीय ब्राह्मण के लिए और ब्रह्म समाज की पूर्ण ऐतिहासिक पृष्ठभूमि का उल्लेख किया, अतः मैं उसकी पुनरावृत्ति नहीं करूंगी। अतिशय मुग्ध हूँ मैं उनके विचारों से। हम सभी जानते हैं 20 अगस्त 1828 में राजर्षि राजा राममोहन राय ने ब्रह्म समाज की स्थापना की थी। एकेश्वरवाद, निराकार परमेश्वर की उपासना का उन्होंने बड़ी गहराई से मान्यता दी। राममोहन राय ने भारतीयों के लिए इस प्रकार एक प्रार्थना कक्ष का निर्माण किया। आरंभ में किराए के मकान में ब्रह्म समाज के नाम से संस्था का निर्माण हुआ। कुछ दिनों उपरांत कोलकाता के चित्तपुर रोड पर एक मकान खरीदकर जिसे ब्रह्म समाज नाम देकर उन्होंने भारतवासियों के लिए एक गहन संदेश दिया, क्योंकि ईश्वर की स्तुति के लिए सामाजिक रूप से एक कक्ष का निर्माण सर्वप्रथम राजर्षि राममोहन राय ने ही किया था। यहाँ उन्हीं लोगों को सदस्यता दी जाती थी जो लोग एक ईश्वर की प्रार्थना के लिए एकजुट होना चाहते थे, और सभी लोग शनिवार के दिन प्रार्थना करने उस कक्ष में पधारा करते थे। बड़ी एकाग्र चित्तता से राममोहन राय का व्यक्तित्व इतना आलीशान और भव्य था कि जब उनके विचार वो व्यक्त करते थे, उनका विचार कोई उनका निजी नहीं था। भारतवर्ष के वैदिक युग से, उपनिषद युग से जो धार्मिक, जो आध्यात्मिक पक्ष का निर्वाह भारत करता रहा है, उसी का उन्होंने समयोचित शुद्ध रूप में प्रस्तुत किया, जो कि भारतवासियों को समझ में आए। शनिवार के दिन उस उपासना कक्ष में अपने हिसाब से ब्रह्म की स्तुति भी हुआ करती थी, और उस बैठक में राजा राममोहन राय
अपनी कविताएं सुनाया करते थे। उपनिषद का अनुवाद बांग्ला भाषा में, भारतीय कुछ भाषाओं का जो उन्होंने अध्ययन किया था उसमें, एवं अरबी फारसी में भी उन्होंने उपनिषद का व्याख्यान दिया था। सबसे बड़ी बात, इन ग्रंथों के पाठ के साथ ही साथ सदचिंता का भी उन्होंने बहुत महत्वपूर्ण योगदान सबके लिए माना। राजा राम मोहन राय अपने व्यक्तित्व से जो कहना चाहते थे वो उसका पालन भी करते थे। ब्रह्म समाज में जाति पाति का कोई भेदभाव नहीं रहता था। यहाँ ईसाई और मुस्लिम भी एकत्रित होते थे। यहाँ सभी संप्रदाय के लोग एक दूसरे से प्रेम पूर्वक मिलते थे। इस संसार को एक संस्था के रूप में निमज्जित कर लिया था उन्होंने। असांप्रदायिक ब्रह्मवादी आराधना परिषद, इसका नाम भी उन्होंने दिया था। राम मोहन का आध्यात्मिक चिंतन सामाजिक शोधन से युक्त था। बहुदेववाद, मूर्ति पूजा, कर्म कांड का खंडन और शुद्ध विचार चिंतन, विवेक सम्मत मानवता की प्रधानता थी। यहाँ एक ही आराध्य ब्रह्म की उपासना होती थी। ब्रह्मांड के रचयिता ब्रह्म की वरीयता थी। एको ब्रह्म द्वितीय नास्ति का सिद्धांत मनन चिंतन का विषय होता था। ब्रह्म सत्य जगत मिथ्या का विवेचन भी होता था। ब्रह्म समाज में राजा राम मोहन राय के एक परम प्रिय सहयोगी पंडित रामचंद्र विद्या वागीश महाशय सर्वप्रथम आचार्य उपासक के पद पर मनोनीत हुए थे। राजा राम मोहन राय के 1830 से 1833 तक विदेश प्रवास के दौरान कोलकाता में ब्रह्म साधना, वेदांत की व्याख्या का पूर्ण दायित्व आचार्य रामचंद्र विद्या वागीश जी ने लिया था। और ठीक उसी तरह प्रत्येक शनिवार को ब्रह्म समाज में ब्रह्मोपासना में वह युक्त रहते थे। वहाँ पर महान महर्षियों का, वहाँ स्टॉलवर्ड लोगों का आगमन होता था, चाहे वो किसी भी संप्रदाय के थे हो। साथ ही महर्षि देवेंद्र नाथ टैगोर भी उपस्थित रहा करते थे। अपनी उपासना में आचार्य रामचंद्र विद्या वागीश कहते थे, एक सर्वेषु भूतेषु गूढ़ोत्मा न प्रकाशते, दृश्यते त्वग्राया बुद्धया सूक्ष्या सूक्ष्मदर्शी भी। अर्थात परमात्मा सभी की शक्ति में शक्ति रूप में है, सभी के प्राणों के प्राणाधार हैं, सभी की आत्मा में गूढ़ रूप में प्रविष्ट हैं। जो व्यक्ति विषय मोह में मुग्ध रहते हैं उनके निकट परमात्मा प्रकाशित नहीं हो पाते। सूक्ष्मदर्शी धीर व्यक्ति अपनी निष्ठ सुमार्जित बुद्धि द्वारा उस ज्ञान स्वरूप परमेश्वर के ज्ञान लोक को आत्ममन के विवेक की गहराई से अनुभव करते थे। देवेंद्र नाथ टैगोर राजा राम मोहन राय के पद चिन्हों पर चलने वाले एकेश्वर भावधारा के अनुनायी थे। बाल्यावस्था में ही राम मोहन राय से वे प्रभावित थे। 1838 से पूर्ण रूपेण देवेंद्र नाथ ठाकुर ने स्वयं को समर्पित कर दिया था। क्रमशः दर्शन, सांख्य एवं अन्य सभी वैदिक ग्रंथों को, उपनिषदों का अध्ययन करते हुए वे ब्रह्मनिष्ठ भारतीय नागरिक के रूप में उन्होंने स्वयं को स्थापित किया। उनका चिंतन वेदांत से प्रभावित उपनिषद चिंतन से ओतप्रोत होकर ब्राह्म धर्म नामक ग्रंथ का उन्होंने संकलन किया। और उस संकलन में उन्होंने जिन श्लोकों का पुष्टिकरण किया उसमें उन्होंने अपना भाष्य, अपना अनुवाद अति शुद्ध सुशीतल भाषा में बांग्ला में किया। साथ ही उन्होंने उसका अंग्रेज़ी में भी अनुवाद बड़ी उत्तम कोटि की अंग्रेज़ी से किया था। उपासना की पद्धति और परिपाटी भी उस ब्राह्म धर्म पुस्तक में है। सर्वत्र उन्होंने उसी महिमा का वर्णन किया जहाँ उन्हें ब्रह्म की अनुभूति होती थी, एवं स्वतः स्फूर्त भाव से उन्होंने कहा, ब्रह्म कृपा ही केवलम। इसके पहले भारतीय शास्त्रों में ब्रह्म की जिज्ञासा थी। ऋषिगण व्याकुल होकर कहते थे, इदम सर्वम खलु, किंतु मन शांत न होता था। भारतीय शास्त्रों में गुरु महात्म्य को चिरकाल से माना गया है। गुरु महात्म्य का ही पारायण होता रहा है। गुरु शिष्य परंपरा में शिष्य सदा प्रश्न करते और गुरु उत्तर देते। प्राचीन काल के सभी ग्रंथ, श्रुति, ऋचाएँ, स्मृति, यही परिवेश होता था। किसी एक स्थल पर उन्होंने गुरु से पूछा, ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। अर्थात वह ब्रह्म पूर्ण है, यह जगत पूर्ण है, यह प्रकृति पूर्ण है। पूर्ण से ही पूर्ण का उदय होता है। पूर्ण से यदि पूर्ण को अदा कर दिया जाए, निकाल दिया जाए, तो वह पुनः पूर्ण ही अवशिष्ट होगा। इस प्रकार आज के वैज्ञानिकों ने भी, गणितज्ञों ने भी कह दिया है, इन्फिनिटी माइनस इन्फिनिटी इज इक्वल टू इन्फिनिटी। इस प्रकार ईश्वर भूमा भाव से अनुस्यूत है। संपूर्ण रूप से यही हम लोगों ने आज के सम्मेलन में आने के लिए जो सोचा था, मैंने विशेष रूप से पाया यहाँ के कथन में जो ब्रह्म कृपा ही केवलम तथ्य स्थापित किया गया है, उसकी पूरी रूपरेखा महर्षि देवेंद्रनाथ महर्षि द्वारा ही रचित है। इसके पहले ऋषि मुनियों ने सिर्फ गुरु कृपा को ही महत्व दिया था और ब्रह्म के अन्वेषण में वो सर्वत्र घूमा करते थे, विचरित हुआ करते थे। किंतु देवर्षि, महर्षि, विद्वान देवेंद्रनाथ जी ने ही पूरे उदात्त भाव से ब्रह्म कृपा ही केवलम का ही उच्चारण किया। अतः मैं यहीं पर अपनी बात को समाप्त करती हूँ और ब्रह्म कृपा ही केवलम की महात्म्य पर अपने को सन्निहित करती हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Talk was deeply insightful and full of clarity. We learned history, philosophy, and devotion together. Next, I invite Mrs. Kalyanmai Chattopadhyay, senior member of Brahmo Samaj, English professor, has guided countless students with affection and discipline. She will speak on God as a friend is a blessing.
Occasion. This is a grand and fantastic occasion, full of thrill and elegance, and I feel myself privileged to stand here to speak on. Privileged, I may say, in many respects, that I am here, that I am inspired by my father, because I have heard from him. Incidentally, I may mention that 8th November was my father's birthday, and 21st Kartika, and he was so much eager of these sort of things that we heard from him, that he once spoke on Ram Mohan Roy on his death anniversary in 1933, and then he was only 31 years old. So that I followed him. I am very innocent, very not very learned, but come over here only inspired by my father. So, obviously, it's a marvelous day, an outstanding celebration. Certainly, it is an auspicious day for all of us. We are now present here as because it is that very occasion that we are celebrating is the centenary of Hyderabad Deccan Brahma Samaj, which was founded in the year 1925, and now it is 2025. I may not live for 100 years, but it is exhilarating to remember the foundation day which had been held 100 years ago. I convey my greetings and salutation to all the dignitaries and delegates coming from all over India, to all the secretaries and presidents of several Brahmo Samajas in India. I convey my affection and love to all the young generation, to all the kids and teenagers who exhibited their capabilities, enthusiasm, devotion, and love for Brahmo Samaj. I like to congratulate of them. I like to congratulate all of them. Now, I come back to my talk, namely Brahma, the soul friend in life. In this context, I may recall my motherland, our great India. India is a great country. It has its cultural heritage and it has its glorious past on account of its devotion and spirituality. Philosophy in India is essentially spiritual. Indian psychology realized the value of concentration and looked upon it as the means for the perception of the truth. The strong intellectuality of the Indian mind, which seeks to know the inner truth and the law of all sides of human activity. It is the natural conditions of India that made the Indian people contemplative, who had the leisure to enjoy the beautiful things of the world and the wealth of soul in song and story, music and dance and various religious rites, undisturbed by the passions of the outer world. External invasions, internal dissensions came very near crushing its civilization many times in its history. The Greek and the Scythian, the Persian and the Mughal, the English and the French have by turn attempted to suppress it, and yet it has its head held high. India has not been finally subdued, and its old flame of spirit is still burning. Throughout its life, it has been living with one purpose. It has fought for the truth and against the error. It may have blundered, but it did what it felt righteous won. The history of Indian philosophy illustrates the endless quest of the mind, ever old, ever new. The spiritual motive dominates life in India. Religion in India is not dogmatic. It is universal and liberal. Upanishad speaks that there is one reality behind and beyond the evolution of the whole universe. The Upanishads give in some detail the path of the inward journey by which the individual souls get at the ultimate reality. Truth is within us. There is great distinction between the ignorant, narrow, selfish way which leads to transitory satisfactions and the way which leads to the eternal life. We must see the eternal, the celestial, the still. If it is unknowable and incomprehensible, it is yet realizable by self-discipline and integrated insight. The word used in the Upanishads to indicate the supreme reality is Brahman. It is derived from the root brew, to grow, to burst forth. The real is not pale abstraction, but is quickeningly alive, of powerful vitality. In the Rig Veda, Brahman is used in the sense of sacred knowledge or utterance, a hymn or incantation, the concrete expression of spiritual wisdom. He who knows Brahman knows and controls the universe. Brahman becomes the primal principle and guiding spirit of the universe. There is nothing more ancient or brighter than this Brahman, who is so active to bring us to awakening and engage us in activities, and thus the whole is activated and had become illumined. God is the root of all of our existence. If substance is a thing which needs no other thing in order to exist, it follows that God alone is substance in the real sense of the term, to need nothing except itself. To strictly speaking, God alone is such a being, and no created thing can exist a single moment without being sustained and preserved by His power. Then we may meditate and adore Him thus: O God, you are my Lord, you are dear to me, and you seem to be the most precious wealth to me. You are my eternal companion in my eternal journey forever and ever. You are my friend throughout day and night. You are the source of pleasure and peace. You console us and make our soul peaceful by subsiding our grief and pain. You make our soul mild. In the perils of seas, you are the rescuer. While distress falls on us, you protect us. You are the savior of a sinner. You are the light of this universe. You are the valuable garland made of jewel. Your appearance is majestic. Though your words are full of forgiveness, yet you send forth piercing pain to make us restless to know thyself. You talk with us, but we become dumb then. You give us life to be active, and lastly, you take us in your arms when the souls need rest, and that is death. God is the substance. His supreme power makes us spellbound, and we know that His intense desire is to make mankind more reasonable, more religious, more dedicated, more humanitarian, more selfless, more pure in heart, more righteous, more pious, and integrated. At last, we surrender to Him, realizing His all-powerful existence. He is our constant and loving friend. He is merciful and bestows His blessings to all of us. So, with much dedication, we convey our regardful and grateful salutation to our beloved God again and again. Thank you. That's all. नीचे जाबो अच्छा
Hello. Delhi Brahma Samaj, a gifted storyteller, teaches children history in such a simple, joyful way that they remember it better than the textbooks. Her topic today is Life Story of Raja Ram Mohan Roy.
So hello young people back there. All right. Hello, young people back there. You're all sitting there. Wouldn't you like to know, to peek into the life and personality of India's great leader, Raja Ram Mohan Roy? We call him the father of modern India, and you and I are the children of modern India. What made Ram Mohan see all the problems in our society, in our country, in our way of life? All of more than 200 years ago. And then he tried to solve those problems and make a better society for us and the people of the future. How did he keep up with the news of the world when there were no radios or telephones or televisions, let alone cell phones and cameras? How did Ram Mohan find the energy to reach out to all Indians and people of the world? What did he eat and drink? Not hamburgers, vadas or Horlicks, nor Coca-Cola. Ram Mohan was born into a rich Hindu Brahmin family of Bengal. His father first sent him to the local school, the Pathshala. The little boy was smart and learnt everything quickly. He did his homework regularly and remembered whatever he was taught in school. There he learnt his mother tongue, Bengali, and also Sanskrit, which we learn in our schools even today. The clever, hard-working little boy was then sent off to Patna in Bihar, all the way from Bengal, when he was just 9 years old. He went to a hostel far from home. There he studied Persian and Arabic. He studied the Quran, the holy book of the Muslims, in Arabic. After 3 years, he was sent on to Benares to learn more Sanskrit and the Hindu Shastras, the Hindu holy books. When Ram Mohan returned home after 6 years in the boarding school, he was naturally bigger and stronger than before. He had been eating his meals properly and also did many exercises and weightlifting, as you do also. He became about 6 feet tall and became very strong and developed very strong legs. Ram Mohan had studied Persian and Arabic in Patna, because they were the languages used for official work. English was introduced much later. Through these two languages, he read the Quran, and Sanskrit helped him to read the Hindu Shastras. From both of them, he learnt the same thing. They both spoke of God being one and formless, not like the images of gods and goddesses carved in stone and wood as were kept in his family's home and worshipped with flowers, sweets, and lots of chanting and prayers and ceremonies guided by priests. These stone and wooden images of gods and goddesses were also fed sweets, or so it seemed. When Ram Mohan reached home, he told his parents that their method of praying to gods and goddesses was wrong. He wrote about his opinions. When his father came to know of his son's writings, he was very angry. He ordered his son, Ram Mohan, to leave the house immediately, which the youngster promptly did. He walked away from family and home in Bengal to many places. He took bullock carts to some places, boats to others, and he walked. At that time, there were no cars, no buses or trains, not even bicycles. But he had strong legs, thanks to all his exercises. So he walked a lot. He traveled to many places in the country and lived the simple life of his countrymen. He saw how they lived, how they worked and worshipped. He also wanted to see how Buddhists prayed in the holiest of Buddhist places, way up in the Himalayas, in Tibet. So he walked there too, at age 16. Could you? Could I? Absolutely not. But there he found people praying to statues of Gautam Buddha and also praying to the high priests. Again, he told people that it was the wrong way to pray. He repeated that God was one and formless, not in stone statues or in living men. This made some people very angry at him and tried to kill him. But he was helped to escape by some kind women who were impressed and charmed by this teenager from distant Bengal with his unusual ideas. Ram Mohan had studied the Hindu prayer books. His study of Sanskrit made it clear what the Shastras said. Then he translated and wrote down in Bengali and Hindi what the Shastras said and distributed them. He felt that common people like you and me and our families should understand what the holy books said in Sanskrit. Otherwise, only the priests would know. They were the only people who knew Sanskrit. As Ram Mohan grew older, his lifestyle was made to suit his activities. He would wake up at 4 in the morning and have coffee, while your parents may drink tea or coffee in the morning and you drink milk. Waking up early in eastern India is normal as the sun rises in the east. There, everything begins early. Then Ramon would go for a walk with some like-minded friends. While it was still cool in the morning, he could walk fast, so his companions would rush to keep up with him. He reached home before sunrise. Then his family barber would do up his hair, which was kept long in the fashion of the day, and some men keep long hair today also. Then the barber would read the newspaper to Ram Mohan while the master went around doing other things. Then it was time for a cup of tea before starting his exercises. Then he was given an oil massage till he was dripping oil. Your mothers must have done that for you too, but for him, it was his servants who massaged him. Then came his bath. After that, he read and wrote letters with pen and ink and paper. There were no computers then. Then it was time for a big meal at 10 in the morning. He would eat this, and the meal was enough for him till the evening. He did not eat lunch at midday as we normally do. He would sit cross-legged on the floor to have his food, and he would eat a Bengali meal of fish and rice, fish curry and rice. After his meal, Ram Mohan rested for about an hour, and in the afternoon, he spent a lot of time reading and writing all of us all sorts of letters and articles in various languages. Ram Mohan knew 10 languages. Many of us complain when we have to learn 2 or 3. More news was read to him, so he heard the news of the world, even if it had taken about 5 months to come by ship around the Cape of Good Hope, around the southernmost strip of Africa. He had tea and snacks at 3 in the afternoon, as many people do in the eastern states of Bengal and Assam. There were no pizzas and sandwiches in those days. Snacks would mean puris or samosas or halwa. He would eat some fruits at 5 in the evening. Then he would go visiting friends. Finally, dinner was at 10 o'clock at night. His evening meal would be Muslim style, comprising of pulao, koftas, kormas, all that. then more talk with friends, then pudding was served, a favorite sweet, and finally bed. So you see, Ramon had a busy day every day. He ate meals at big intervals, but what helped him carry on with his work was drinking a lot of milk. Not just one glass, but many glasses. They had cows at home. He did not have to buy milk like we do. He could eat a lot of bananas as they were very nourishing. He ate many mangoes when they were in season and lots of tender coconuts. Ramon worked a lot with grown-ups, but he also played with children. He even joined them on the swings sometimes. He'd push a child on the swing for some time. Then he'd ask children to push him while he was on the swing. When a friend asked him why he enjoyed the swing so much, he answered jokingly that he was getting used to the feeling of swaying up and down if and when he went to Europe on a ship going up and down on the waves of the sea. That would take several months. This was just an introduction to such a journey. Some years later, he did just that, taking 5 months to go by ship to Europe. Some people got quite sick on those journeys. These days, people even get sick while driving in a car or bus going up and down hill roads. Okay, now let's see what Ramon used to talk about when he met people all the time. Firstly, he was deeply concerned about the condition of women in our country. They were ill-treated. Though Brahmins and all Hindus prayed to the goddesses of Durga and Saraswati, and, they were, Durga and Saraswati, and Kali. No girl or woman was allowed to be educated. It was believed that if she was educated, her husband would die soon. But your mothers are educated, and your mothers are educated, but her fathers don't die. Your fathers are healthy and happy. Earlier, it was believed that all women need to do was stay home, cook, clean, and mind children. When her husband died, she was cremated. She was burnt with him, and she was called Sati. Imagine what it was to even burn a finger on a candle or a stove. Even the Englishmen who ruled our country were horrified, but could not stop the Hindu custom. The priest said it was demanded by Hindu law in the holy books. But Rammohan said that there is no such law in the holy books. He convinced Lord William Bentinck of this, and Lord Bentinck ordered the burning of widows to be stopped. It was made illegal. Can you imagine your mother, or any sister or auntie being burnt alive? Never. For this, all of us women are grateful to Ram Mohan. Ram Mohan wanted women to be educated. He managed to get schools going to educate boys, teaching them science, geography, and all else, even about balloons. Many of the books he wrote himself from all the knowledge available in those days. And he printed many books on a printing press he owned. Schools for girls were started later, but they were educated. He could not start them in his lifetime. He also printed many Sanskrit verses of prayers that he translated into Bengali and Hindi, so we would know what was said in them and not depend on Brahmins to explain them to us. They did not explain. They ordered common men to do this or that, and not following them would be considered committing a sin, and they would be punished for that. Just saying sorry was not enough. And those punishments were as awful as even eating cow dung. Horrible. to even think about it. Ramon had read the various holy books of the Hindus, the Muslims, and Christians, and they all spoke of the one true, formless God we should pray to. That God was in the tiniest blade of grass and the tallest tree, and in all animals and humans. Rammohan founded the Brahmo Samaj, where all of us can gather to pray to this one true, formless God. No matter what religion or color or nationality they may be, or whether man or woman. Some Hindu temples do not allow women to enter. When Rammohan said all people could pray together, his wife was surprised. He replied that all cows of all colors gave the same white milk. Oh. They said all the cows of different colors give the same white milk. And that's the pure essence of all religion is the same. And he had the Brahmo community sing all together as they do in churches. He wrote many songs himself, which we still sing today. He did not believe in caste system at all. When a laborer needed help, he gave it. Raja Rammohan worked with an Englishman named John Digby for about 10 years. He learnt very good English from him and many courtesies which were allowed amongst Europeans, like having ladies sit down before you sat down yourself. But one was to also have tables and chairs which we still use today. He read books and magazines in English, and that opened for him a window towards the Western world. Their study of science and technology have helped them to dominate the world. He was our greatest social reformer, and he opened a school called Anglo-Hindu School. He urged the English government to open schools that would teach several science subjects in English. Rammohan realized we needed to learn all the science subjects for the progress of the nation. Thanks to him and his efforts towards improving our lot, here we are, as we are today, in India's excellent position in the world. Our scientists and engineers have developed and are making ships and aeroplanes, launching spaceships, and are making great progress in science. We have also reached the moon with Chandrayaan. So, folks, you see how Rammohan Roy did a lot for our lives and progress all of 200 years ago. And now we believe, that all school children studying textbooks is not enough. They would also grow up to be good human beings. Each of us can help our fellow man by helping him in his hour of need. Each person has a part to play in our community, and we should stand by our values that show how we behave when no one is watching. They show our honesty in the smallest of things. No cheating in exams, helping old people, blind people and children, people with disabilities, everyone opening and operating schools in villages, encouraging doctors and nurses to work in villages. Then our country would be an even better place to live in. And it falls upon you, our youth, to take it on yourselves, to improve the world around you, and to strive to make a mark yourselves in the world, the same as Raja Rammohan Roy did more than 200 years ago. Goodbye.
Hello. Thank you, ma'am. You didn't just tell history, you made us travel back in time. Your storytelling was so lively and so fascinating. I now request Renuka ji to felicitate the speakers.
Have a tea break of 15 minutes. I request everyone to have tea and come back by 11:30 in the auditorium hall. All the children, please stay at your places only. This break is only for elders. పిల్లలందరూ మీ సీట్లలోనే ఉండండి, ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళొద్దు. 11:30కి మనం నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాము. ఇంకొక ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ సెషన్ ఉంది మీకోసం, స్పెషల్ సెషన్ ప్లాన్ చేయడం జరిగింది. సో ఎక్కడికి కదలకుండా మీ ప్లేసుల్లోనే ఉండండి పిల్లలు, ఓకేనా? సైలెంట్గా ఉండాలి, మీరు చాలా సౌండ్ వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ దాకా, సైలెంట్గా ఉండండి. పెద్దవాళ్ళకు మాత్రం టీ బ్రేక్ ఇప్పుడు.
Children across India, so we request you to begin. इनके लिए जोरदार तालियां होनी चाहिए बच्चों की तरफ से. The stage is all yours.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. నా ఆలోచనలు కొన్ని మీకు కథల రూపంలో చెప్పడానికి ఇక్కడికి వచ్చాను. ఓకే, ఒకప్పుడు ఒక ఆయన ఉండేవాడు. ఆయన రోజు పొద్దున్నే లేవగానే పూజ చేసేవాడు అనమాట. ఏ పని చేసినా ముందు పూజ చేసి తన రోజును ప్రారంభించేవాడు. ఒకరోజు ఆయన పూజ చేస్తుంటే ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చిందో తెలియదు కానీ ఒక పిల్ల వచ్చి అటు ఇటు దూకడం ప్రారంభించిందనమాట. అది ఆయనకి చాలా డిస్టర్బింగ్గా అనిపించింది. అరే అలా అని చెప్పి ఆ పిల్లిని కొట్టే ఉద్దేశం కూడా ఆయనకి లేదు. సో అప్పుడు ఆయన ఏం చేశాడంటే తర్వాత రోజు పూజ చేసేటప్పుడు తన పక్కన ఒక పెద్ద బౌల్ పెట్టాడు. ఆ బౌల్ నిండా పాలు పోసాడు. ఎందుకంటే పిల్లి ఆ పాలు తాగే లోపల తను పూజ ప్రశాంతంగా చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా అని. అలాగా రోజు పిల్లి వచ్చేది, ఆయన ఆ పిల్లికి పాలు పెట్టేవాడు, శుభ్రంగా ఆ పిల్లి పాలు తాగి వెళ్ళిపోయేది. ఇది వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయి గమనించాడు. కానీ నాన్న ఎందుకు అక్కడ మీరు బౌల్లో పిల్లికి పాలు పెడుతున్నారని ఏ రోజు క్వశ్చన్ చేయలేదు. అలాగా కొన్ని సంవత్సరాలు గడిచాయి. ఒకరోజు ఆయన చనిపోయాడు. కొన్ని రోజుల పాటు ఆ ఇంట్లో ఏ పూజా కార్యక్రమాలు లేవు, పిల్లికి ఎవరు పాలు పెట్టలేదు, ఆ పిల్లి అక్కడికి రాలేదు. సో ఆ పిల్లి ఇంకో ఇల్లు ఎత్తుక్కుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఆ పూజా కార్యక్రమాలన్నీ వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయి చేయాల్సి వచ్చింది. అతను ఆలోచించాడు అనమాట. నాన్న ఏం చేసేవాడు, రోజు పూజ చేసేవాడు, పూజ చేసేటప్పుడు ఒక పిల్లికి ఒక పెద్ద బౌల్ నిండా పాలు పెట్టేవాడు అని చెప్పి. సో తను కూడా పూజ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏం చేసేవాడంటే పక్కూరు వెళ్ళి ఒక పిల్లిని కొనుక్కొచ్చి ఒక బౌల్ నిండా పాలు పెట్టి ఆ పిల్లికి పాలు ఇవ్వడం, ఆ పిల్లికి పాలు పెట్టడం స్టార్ట్ చేశాడు అనమాట. అలాగా తను బ్రతికినంతకాలం అలాగే చేశాడు. తను చనిపోతూ వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయికి నాన్న ఇలా మనం పూజ చేసేటప్పుడు పిల్లికి పాలు పెట్టడం మన ఆచారం అని చెప్పేసి కంటిన్యూ చేయించాడు. అతను కంటిన్యూ చేశాడు. అలాగా వాళ్ళ కొడుకు, వాళ్ళ మనవడు, ఇలాగా ఒక 5-6 తరాల పాటు రోజు పూజ చేస్తూ పిల్లికి పాలు పెట్టేవాళ్ళు అనమాట. ఒక 6వ తరంలో ఒక అతను అడిగాడు, మీరు పూజ చేసేటప్పుడు ఎందుకు పిల్లికి పాలు పెడుతున్నారు అని. అప్పుడు ఆయన చెప్పాడు, ఇలా పెట్టాలంట, మంచిదంట, మన పెద్దోళ్ళందరూ ఇదే ఫాలో అయ్యారు అని. పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే ఆ 6వ తరంలో ఎవరైతే ఎందుకు చేయాలి అని ఒక ప్రశ్న ఏదైతే అడిగారో అదే మొదటి తరంలో వాళ్ళ కొడుకు, నాన్న మీరు పూజ చేసేటప్పుడు పిల్లికి ఎందుకు పాలు పెడుతున్నారు అంటే ఆయన చెప్పుండేవాడు, పిల్లిని కొట్టడం ఇష్టం లేక ప్రశాంతంగా దానికి పాలు పెట్టాను అని. సో దిస్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ గైస్. మనందరం ఎప్పుడైనా ఏదైనా ఒక పని చేసేటప్పుడు మన పెద్దోళ్ళు ఇది మంచిదంట, చెయ్యాలంట అని ఏదైనా మనకు అర్థం కాని ఒకటి మీరు చేస్తూ ఉన్నారనుకోండి, ఎందుకంట అని ఒకసారి అడుగుదాం. అడగడంలో తప్పేం లేదు కదా. సో వీ ట్రై టు క్వశ్చన్ ఇట్. అలా క్వశ్చన్ చేసిన ఆయనే రాజా రామ్మోహన్ రాయ్. ఆయన గురించి ఈరోజు మనందరం ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాం. సో ఎప్పుడైనా సరే మనం ఏదైనా ఒక పని చేస్తున్నప్పుడు మనకు అర్థం కాకపోతే ఎందుకంట అని అడగడంలో తప్పైతే ఏం లేదు. ఓకే, ఇలా ఓ పెద్ద ఆయన ఉన్నట్టే ఓ గుర్రం ఉండేది. ఆ గుర్రం వాళ్ళ అమ్మ ఏ పని చెప్తే ఆ పని చేసేది. ఒకరోజు వాళ్ళ అమ్మ ఏం చెప్పిందంటే ఒక సంచి నిండా కొన్ని గోధుమలు ఇచ్చి పిండి మార్కెళ్ళి పట్టించుకురా అని చెప్పింది. సరే అని చెప్పేసి అది అలా వెళ్తూ ఉంటే దారిలో ఒక పెద్ద వాగడ్డ వచ్చిందనమాట. వాగడ్డ వస్తే దానికి డౌట్ వచ్చింది, ఈ వాగు ఎంత లోతుందో తెలియదు కదా అని. అక్కడ ఒక ఎద్దు పడుకుని ఉంటే ఆ ఎద్దుని, ఎద్దు మామ నేను ఇది దాటి అవతలకి వెళ్ళొచ్చా, పెద్ద లోతు ఉంటుందా అని. అప్పుడు ఎద్దు అంటది, పెద్ద లోతే ఉండదు, రోజు నేను అవతలకి వెళ్ళే పచ్చగడ్డి తినొస్తాను అని. సరే అని చెప్పేసి ఇది ఆ వాగు దాటడానికి అలా ముందుకెళ్తుంది. అలా ముందుకెళ్ళిన టైంలో ఏమవుతుందంటే ఒక ఉడత పరిగెత్తుకుంటూ వచ్చి, ఏం చేస్తున్నావు నువ్వు, అలా వెళ్ళొద్దు, నిన్న మా ఫ్రెండ్ ఒకడు ఇలా వాగు దాటుదామని ప్రయత్నించి మునిగిపోయాడు, నువ్వు అలా వెళ్ళొద్దు అంటుంది. అంటే ఇది ఈ గుర్రానికి సందేహం వస్తుంది, ఎద్దేమో వెళ్ళొచ్చు అంటుంది, ఉడతేమో వద్దు మునిగిపోతూ ఉంటుంది, ఏం చేయాలని చెప్పేసి వెనక్కి వచ్చేసి వాళ్ళ అమ్మకి చెప్తుంది, అమ్మ నువ్వు చెప్పిన పనే చేద్దాం అనుకున్నాను, కానీ వెళ్తూ ఉంటే ఇలాగా ఇద్దరు నాకు సందేహాలు ఇచ్చారు. ఒకళ్ళు దాటమంటారు, ఒకళ్ళు వద్దు అంటున్నారంటే అప్పుడు వాళ్ళ అమ్మ అడుగుతుంది, నువ్వు ప్రయత్నించావా, ఒక కాలు పెట్టి ఆ లోతు ఎంతో నువ్వు చూసావా అని. మనందరం ఏం చేస్తూ ఉంటామంటే ఎవరు చెప్పినా వింటాం, వినడంలో తప్పులేదు, బట్ ఆలోచిద్దాం. సో వినదగుని ఎవరు చెప్పినా అన్నారు, కానీ మనం విందాం, విని ఆలోచిద్దాం. సో దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్. అది నేను చెప్పినా, ఇవాళ ఇక్కడ గెస్ట్ చెప్పినా, ఎవరు చెప్పినా, ఇట్స్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. మీరు వినండి, బట్ ఆలోచించండి. సో ఈ ఆలోచించడం అనేది ఒక అలవాటుగా చేసుకుందాం. దానికి ఒక చిన్న కథ చెప్పి దెన్ ఐ టేక్ ఏ బ్రేక్. ఒకప్పుడు ఈ గుర్రం ఒక ఆయన ఉన్నట్టే సింహం ఉందన్నమాట అడవిలో. పాపం అది భోజనం చేసి చాలా రోజులైంది, కార్తీక మాసం కదా, పాపం దానికి కూడా వేట దొరికి చాలా రోజులైంది. ఒక వారం నుంచి ఉపవాసం చేస్తుంది. వేటాడదామంటే ఏ జంతువు కనబడట్లేదు. సరే అని చెప్పేసి కనీసం నీళ్ళన్నా తాగుదాం కదా అని ఒక సరస్సు దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళిందనమాట. వెళ్తే ఆ సరస్సుకి అవతల వైపున ఒక పెద్ద ఏనుగు కనబడింది దానికి. ఆహా, మొత్తానికి వేటకి ఏదైనా ఒక జంతువు దొరికింది కదా అని వేగంగా దానివైపు పరిగెత్తడం మొదలుపెట్టింది. దీన్ని అక్కడ ఉన్న ఏనుగు చూసింది, అమ్మో సింహం నా వైపు ఇంత స్పీడ్గా పరిగెత్తుకుంటూ వస్తుంది, దీనికి దొరికితే నన్ను చంపేస్తుందేమో అని చెప్పేసి అది కూడా స్పీడ్గా పరిగెత్తడం మొదలుపెట్టింది. ఈ ఏనుగు పరిగెత్తడాన్ని ఒక కుందేలు పిల్ల చూసింది. కుందేలు పిల్ల చూసి, ఏనుగు బావా ఎందుకంత వేగంగా పరిగెడుతున్నావు, అదిగో చూడు దూరంగా సింహం నా వైపు తరుముకుంటూ వస్తుంది, దానికి దొరికితే అంతే అంటే అప్పుడు కుందేలు అంటుంది, ఎంత స్పీడ్గా పరిగెత్తినా సింహం కన్నా స్పీడ్గా పరిగెత్తలేవు కదా, ఎక్కడో చోటు దొరికిపోతావు కదా అని. పరిగెత్తున్న ఏనుగుకి నిజమే కదా, ఎక్కడో చోటు దొరికిపోతాం, మరి ఏం చేద్దాం అని ఆలోచిస్తుంటే నేను ఒక ఐడియా ఇస్తా, ఫాలో అవ్వు, నీ ప్రాణాలు నీకుంటే అని. కరెక్టే కదా, లాజిక్కే. నేను ఎక్కడో చోటు దొరికిపోతానని, సరే నువ్వు చెప్పు ఏం చేయమంటే అది చేస్తాను. అప్పుడు చిన్న కుందేలు పిల్ల అంటది, నువ్వు చచ్చిపోయినట్టు పడుకో, నేను చూసుకుంటా మిగతాది అంతా అంటుంది. సరే అని చెప్పేసి ఆ ఏనుగు చచ్చిపోయినట్టు అలా పడుకుని ఉంటుంది. అప్పుడు ఆ ఏనుగు మీద కుందేలు పిల్లల కూర్చుని కాలు మీద కాలేసుకుని దూరంగా సింహం పరిగెత్తుకుంటూ వస్తుంటే దానికి ఇలా చేయి చూపించి, రా సింహం రా, నీకోసమే నేను ఇక్కడ వేచి ఉన్నాను అంటుంది. సింహానికి ఒక్కసారి ఆశ్చర్యం వేస్తుంది. చిన్న కుందేలు పిల్ల, ఇంత చిన్న కుందేలు పిల్ల, చిన్న శబ్దం అయితే పరిగెత్తే కుందేలు పిల్ల నా వైపు చేయి చూపించి రా నీకోసం వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నాను అంటే ఏదో ఆలోచించాలని కొంచెం దూరంలో ఆగిపోయి ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట. అప్పుడే కుందేలు అంటుంది, నేను ఇప్పటి వరకు 99 ఏనుగుల్ని 49 సింహాలని చంపాను, ఇది 100వ ఏనుగు, నువ్వు 50 సింహం రా అంటుంది అనమాట గట్టిగా. అది వినగానే సింహానికి ఆకలి ఇంపార్టెంటే, కానీ ప్రాణం ఇంకా ఇంపార్టెంట్ కదా, అందుకని దూరంగా ఆగుంటుంది. చూస్తే ఏనుగేమో చచ్చిపోయినట్టుంది. అరే, నాకే చాలాసేపు పడుతుంది ఏనుగుని చంపడానికి, ఇదేంటి నేను ఇల్లు తిరిగి వచ్చే లోపల చంపేసిందంటే ఇది చెప్పింది నిజమే ఉంటుందేమో అని చెప్పి ఇది అక్కడి నుంచి పరిగెత్తుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. సో సింహం పరిగెత్తుకుని వెళ్ళిపోయింది కదా అని ఏనుగు కుందేలు చక్కగా ముచ్చట్లు పెట్టుకునే అనమాట. ఏంటి ఏనుగు బావా విశేషాలు, ఇంట్లో అందరూ బాగున్నారా అని. ఇలా పరిగెడుతున్న సింహాన్ని ఓ నక్క చూసింది. నక్క చూసి, ఏంటి మహారాజా ఇలా పారిపోయి వస్తున్నారు, ఏదో ఇలా భయంతో పరిగెడుతున్నట్టున్నారు అంటే అప్పుడు ఆ సింహం ఉంటుంది, నేను అక్కడ ఒక కుందేలుని చూశాను, అది ఏనుగుల్ని సింహాలని చంపి తింటుంది, దాని నుంచి నా ప్రాణాలు కాపాడుకుని ఇక్కడ దాకా వచ్చాను అంటే, ఏం మాట్లాడతారు మహారాజా, ఎక్కడైనా ఒక కుందేలు ఏనుగుల్ని సింహాలని చంపుతుందా, మీరేదో పొరబడి ఉంటారు, పదండి చూద్దామంటే సింహానికి భయం వేస్తుంది, నేను రాను అని. అప్పుడు అంటది నక్క, ఓ పని చేద్దాం, నేను ముందు నడుస్తా, మీరు నా వెనక నడవండి. ఒకవేళ మీరు చెప్పింది నిజమే అనుకోండి, అది నా మీద దాడి చేసే గ్యాప్లో మీరు పరిగెత్తుకుంటూ ఇలా వచ్చేయచ్చు, మీ ప్రాణాలు మీకు ఎలాగో ఉంటాయి. ఒకవేళ అది కనుక తప్పు అయితే నాకు కొంచెం ఏనుగు మాంసం ఇప్పించండి మహారాజా అంటుంది. డీల్ బాగుంది కదా, సరే అని చెప్పేసి నక్క ఇలా ముందుకు వెళ్తుంది, వెనకమాల సింహం. ఇంతకుముందు అంటే బలమైన జంతువు ఒకటే ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు ఒక బలమైన జంతువు, తెలివైన నక్క, ఈ రెండు కూడా ఆ ఏనుగు కుందేలు ఉన్న దగ్గరికి వెళ్తున్నాయి. పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే ఈ రెండు వస్తున్న విషయం ఆ రెండింటికి తెలియదు. ఆ రెండు చక్కగా కూర్చుని మాట్లాడుకుంటుంది. ఒకవేళ మీరే గనక ఆ కుందేలు ప్లేస్లో ఉంటే ఏనుగు ప్రాణం కాపాడుతూ మీ ప్రాణాలు మీరు ఎలా కాపాడుకుంటారు? ఎందుకంటే ఆలోచన అనేది మంచిదని ఇప్పుడే కదా మాట్లాడుకున్నాం. సో ఆలోచించండి. సో ఇలాంటి మరిన్ని కథలతో మళ్ళీ కలుద్దాం మనం. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Hello. Thank you so much, sir. I hope that everyone is refreshed after the storytelling session. So now we move to a very special segment, that is guest speeches. Now we welcome a proud soldier of India, Lieutenant Colonel retired Bharat Prasad, military veteran, training consultant at Octopus, Telangana's elite counter-terror commando force, played a key role in neutralizing terrorists of the Al-Badr group in Jammu and Kashmir, a life dedicated to courage, nation and discipline. Sir, we salute your service. Can we please have you on stage? I also invite Mrs. Madhu Bindu, AGM in a private limited company, first generation Brahmo, learning and teaching Vedas for 20 years, inspiring many young families and women. Ma'am, you're welcome. I now request Lieutenant Colonel Bharat Prasad to address the gathering.
Respected members of the organizing committee of Hyderabad, Deccan Hyderabad Brahma Samaj, organizing this special 134th All India Brahmo Conference. A respected lady seated in the dais, respected attendees who amongst all are very young, who was seated towards the end, slightly less young of my age, and all those who are still young but elder to me. I don't see anybody who's old here. You all look very vibrant, lively, energetic, and enthusing a lot of wisdom. Namaste, Shubhodayam, and a very special Sunday morning. At the very outset, I would like to thank the organizing committee of Deccan Hyderabad Brahma Samaj for giving me this privilege and honor to invite and speak to you all during this a very special All India Brahmo Conference, which also is coinciding with the 100 years of formation of the Deccan Hyderabad Brahma Samaj. I am truly honored and I consider it as a privilege. Thank you, the organizing committee. Before I begin, I just want to show or indicate you a little surprise. May I all request you to look towards the roof. May I all request you to look towards your feet. What is there? Just look towards your feet. This is not part of a military exercise or something. This is in sync with the spiritual awareness that this conference is all about. That in modern times, we all have disconnected from our own soul, from our own purpose of this creation of the Brahman. We all stopped getting amused and being in sync with the nature, the very force that is above us, the sky, the space, the heavens, and the platform, the Mother Earth, where our teach is currently placed and touching. So we are blessed. I'm sure you all agree. Before I proceed with my talk and do justice to the invitation that the organizing committee has extended to me, I must take the opportunity to express my very humble and sincere compliments to Ma'am Sunanda Rai Chaudhary. आपने जिस तरीके से कृपा और केवलम की बात किया है, धन्य हैं आप, धन्यवाद. And also the speech by Kalyanmoyi Chattopadhyay ma'am, who spoke about God as a friend is a blessing. Again, ma'am, a lot of spiritual wisdom. Thank you so much. And also by the speech by Gopa Chanda ma'am. Ma'am, what energy. You narrated the entire story of Raja Ramon the Great. And how much ever my mind was wandering, because human mind is a monkey, it is distracted, yet you all brought me with your wonderful speech, articulation. I was spellbound, and it was a riveting speech by all three of you. And I'm fortunate that I have heard such spiritual wisdom from all three of you. And also not to miss Sri Ravi Shankar ji. I am not able to locate him. I don't know where is he placed right now. For the a great and interesting and meaningful stories. Okay, now coming to the specific talk. I don't know how a military man, a person who's made to, or who has served this great nation, this motherland of mine, for 22 years in army, can do justice and talk meaningful to the current, ongoing conference or session that is organized. I'll try. This great motherland, our great country, there's something special about it. That is, Bharat, India, is not known for what it does as it stands today, but it is certainly known for what it is. It is a soul that remained intact in spite of close to 1,000 years of occupation by outside forces. If you look at other nations, their primarily borders, those borders have been altered many a times in centuries. But in our case, because of our spirituality, because of the spiritual awakening, because of the very soul that this country has, and the people who have walked on this planet, in this part of the planet, have carried that inner light, have ensured that the inner light is never doused, has a story to tell, and it is now telling very loud and clear. If you look at our history, I'm sure you all are very much aware. I am not addressing the very learned, matured, and who are beholding so much of life wisdom. My aim is to address and talk to the people of my age or slightly younger ones, the impressionable minds. So for the past close to 850 odd years, India has been invaded, captured, conquered, and ruled. Initial by Turks for good about 300 plus years, thereafter Mughals, and then the British. Now if you see, when India, the Akhand Bharat then, which it was, when it resisted, we were murdered. A group of people who were wanting to fight, who were wanting to keep the spirituality, the spiritual awakening, Sanatan Dharma intact, they protested. That group of people were murdered. Those group of people who were smart were managed. I'm talking across the centuries. Those people who were gullible, who were innocent, who were accommodative, who were accepting, who were simple, were manipulated. And those group of people over those centuries who have been neither very smart nor very gullible, they have been modeled. If you look at the British, they have modeled us into belief that our customs are not of that high value. Our philosophy are mere superstitions. When we refer to our ancestors, it was considered we are referring to backward generations. It's not progress. We were laughed at the way we dressed. There's so much that has happened, that mind has been conditioned, that we stopped folding our hands, joining them together to say namaste and namaskaram and greet the other person, the very soul of this Sanatan Dharma or the culture. We forgot We were modeled to greet them by shaking hands. We were modeled, manipulated, and managed to wear the Western dresses and look down upon or laugh at our own attires that was so traditional, that was so synced with the nature and harmony. Yet, we persisted because of that very soul that I spoke about, that spiritual awareness, that ethics. But don't you think, if you really reflect upon what I spoke about so far, it has been too much of a suffering that we endured? 850 years, close to 850 years, we were ruled. Were we so soft? Were we so accommodative? Were we so accepting? Atiti Devo Bhava, that universal brotherhood that Brahma Samaj is talking about, absolutely fine, great. We must embrace that. There is no doubt, there is no debate on that. But that particular thing I can only urge upon, impress upon, to carry on to those people who believe in peaceful coexistence, irrespective of their ideals, that is ideology that they believe in, faith, that the God that pray to, their interests, business, personal, service-oriented or governance-oriented. Irrespective of that, all those people who believe in peaceful coexistence, we can talk, we can preach, we can believe, we can trust in that universal brotherhood. But it is not for those group of people who want to murder us or manipulate us or model us, manage us, to sell their ideology and influence us. Let us not fall to any longer such controls or influences. Enough, this nation, all those people who are born in this part of the region of the planet have suffered. So I bring that history to one great example, a great life story. You all will be happy to know. If you do not know about history, I'm not talking about military history, please here. I'm talking about the real history. If you do not know history, there is a famous saying that history repeats itself. History గురించి మనం చదివి తెలుసుకోకపోతే అది ఒక పెద్ద దురదృష్టం అవుతుంది, అది మళ్ళీ పునరావృతం అవుతుంది అని ఒక గొప్ప సామెత ఉంది. సో ఇది మనందరి బాధ్యత. ఇట్స్ ఓనస్ ఆన్ us, it's incumbent, it's our responsibility to learn about history. Now what I want to tell you is, roughly during the same month, 63 years ago, in 1962, when India believed that the neighboring China will not attack India, the weak leadership, the weak assessment, weak intelligence, China did attack. So, somewhere on 18th of November, in a place called as Ladakh, how many people know Ladakh? If I may ask, no, all elders know. How many people know New York? New York, entamandi telusu? Okay, if I can tell you from here what I observed, most of the people or majority of the people raised hands, number of hands that rose were high for New York compared to Ladakh. Ladakh is a very much integral part of our country. It is there on the northern borders. The temperatures were minus 25 degrees centigrade. At 0 degrees centigrade, you all are aware, the water freezes. Minus 25 degrees centigrade. The company, 13 Kumau, Charlie Company, was stationed there and they were defending against Chinese. You know how many of them? Can anybody make a rough guess? They were defending a pass called as Rezangla Pass, which was in the Chuzul Valley, Chul, Chuzul Valley, which is very close to Leh. Now what is Leh? L-E-H, Leh. I'm sure all the elderly people know. Yeah, there is a young boy. Yeah, if you can be loud and make everybody proud. What is Leh, please? Yeah, great. Be bold and be loud. All right. Okay, can we all clap for this young boy, please? In fact, Even that boy. Proud of you. Leh is the capital city of Ladakh. It would have been overrun. The Chinese would have overrun and captured Leh, and we would have been fighting for Leh, our own region, the way we've been fighting for our Kashmir, a part of Kashmir that has been taken away by Pakistan at the very birth of this nation. Now, the great story is this man did not care for what happens to him or his family. 120 men, commanded by one Major Shaitan Singh Bhati, in spite of being orders from his superiors, higher headquarters, to vacate, because the superiority of the Chinese force, the opposing force, was assessed to be somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000. You can take average as 4,000 also, so 30 times superior. 30 times, 30 times superior to the force that was holding this. And this force mismatch, the capability mismatch was so high that these 120 men were not adequately equipped. Again, poor leadership, poor politics, economy, you can blame it off number of factors. They were not adequately equipped for the winter clothing. They did not have superior weapons. They did not have artillery support. Artillery is a heavy gun which fires from behind and is able to drop a bigger bomb or a shell on the enemy. They had none. They just had that vintage old small arms and ammunition. This officer said, I am not going to vacate the post, and his line was, I will fight this post, that fort he is holding, to the last man and last round. నేను ఈ పోస్ట్ వదిలి వెళ్ళను. నేను ఆ చైనీస్ తోటి నా దగ్గర ఉన్న లాస్ట్ బుల్లెట్ వరకు, నా దగ్గర ఉన్న లాస్ట్ మనిషి వరకు పోరాడుతాను. బతికి ఉంటే వస్తాను, లేదా ఇక్కడే సమాధవుతాను. He did not. In spite of 7 successive attacks on 18th of November to be precise, 63 years ago, 1962. I want to repeat, you must go Google, because we are all now educated and controlled and influenced by this phone and the Google University, Google Baba. So you can refer that. Rezangla Pass, Chusel, 1962, Major Shaitan Singh, he said to his superiors, in spite of strict, compulsive and dictated orders to vacate the post, they will be overrun. They did not. They fought 7 successive attacks, 30 times superior force. Now, what is that was there in them? What made them give that fight? What made them lay down that supreme sacrifice? That is for this soul. That is for these people. That is for this generation. That is, they wanted to tell that India, irrespective of its odds, irrespective of so many divisions that it has, we are one, we are here, we are defending our borders. There are our countrymen. If I do not stand this post, I do not fight these people, they are going to overrun me, they are going to go and capture the capital city. Then that day it would have been Leh, then it would have been Srinagar, then it would have been Delhi, then it would have been Bhopal, then it would have been Hyderabad. So we would have been continuously conquered, capitulated, cultivated, and for centuries this has been happening. So somewhere decided, some man like Subhash Chandra Bose decided, enough. Now I have, my soul is India, Bharat. I love peaceful coexistence. I believe in that, Sanatan Dharma. But he said, I got to fight. Now this is my way. Gandhiji was teaching something. Yes, a revered soul. I am not here to talk about politics, who is great, who is not. We all have our own likes and dislikes. Every man is a great man. Those leaders are great leaders. They fought for our country. Absolutely. No comparison. I want to make and place it on record. I'm just trying to highlight what a military man, is he disconnected from the spiritual awareness? What if he does not choose to fight? Can we have this conference here? We will be cultivated, we will be capitulated by some other ideology, some other faith, some other belief system. It will be enforced on us. We will be subjugated. So that man decided then that I'll fight. Swami Vivekananda chose some path. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, look at that great man What must have been that inner strength? 567 princely states at the time of birth of this nation. What solid Iron Man of India. So just for nothing, he's not called that. He united, and he could not have been as great as Ashoka, the great part of Mauryan Empire, who at its height, at its zenith, Akhand Bharat stretched. I'm sure you all are aware. I don't know, teach you social and geography. You all are aware what Akhand Bharat was. Sardar Bhai Patel may not have been able to manage to put Akhand Bharat on the map or a geography of the planet Earth, but he united 567 princely states. Look at that great man. What a leader he's been. Subhash Chandra Bose, what a leader he's been. Look at this Major Shaitan Singh Bhati. He said, no, I am not going to retreat. I am not going to withdraw. I will stop them here. And you know what is the result of that war? Out of 120, 114 martyred on one single day, 7 successive attacks by Chinese, 7 successive, only 6 men survived out of 120. Looking at that fight, Chinese came for an unconditional and unilateral ceasefire with India 2 days later. Because of that decisive battle, they came for a unilateral ceasefire because of that battle. So you can look at that. Now, do you want to consider it as to be a violence or a non-spiritual, spiritual awareness, peaceful coexistence, or what we are looking at? So I just want to urge, by talking about this story or this real incident, to tell you that the military is here to defend that very spirit of this country, that very soul of this country. All those people who are guarding our nation, please be aware that we may be good. We want to teach universal brotherhood. We believe in humanity and God. But if those borders, that belief system, wherever it stretches and stops, if that is not guarded and protected, that will be overrun. That will be changed. So you need a military for that. So those people who are serving on the borders are defending from any invaders, any inimical elements who are wanting to again invade or control this great nation. And also equally, all these very, very highly learned, seen so much of life. I am nobody to talk to them, or I am not even having courage to look into their faces, because the amount of wisdom that they behold, the life that they have seen is phenomenal. I can only take a bow in front of all of them with utmost sincerity and humility, all the elders who are here, because they've seen so much. So my entire talk is just about 5-6 lines behind to all those who have little bit of understanding or skewed understanding or twisted Wikipedia or a Google understanding. There's so much of greatness about this country. This country has been surviving, but we also need a duality along with the spiritual awareness that we are looking at, ethics, adhyatmika, avagahana, ethics, values, and that reformist thought, the agenda, I was going through the agenda of this conference, is that to reflect upon how is it affecting the progressive and harmonious living of this country. Yes, but there is a duality that is needed. Should there be elements, inimical elements, be it foreign or born inside, who want to control and divide this country on any lines, be it region, religion, race, resources, anybody who is talking about that, the moment you sense it, I want to request you, urge you, be cautious about that and raise your voice the strongest. Protest it. If you do not, if you stay silent, then silence is deemed acceptance. Then they will think that they will draw power from that silent majority, and they will draw that strength from that minority people who are siding with them, who is promoting the divisive idea. There is any law that you want to bring today, be it farm laws or be it any kind of transparency, there is a protest, because the old model is being broken and a great Bharat is being Atmanirbhar Bharat or Skill India or whatever. So that India is progressing. So while India is progressing, there are so many inside forces that are being controlled from outside with vested interest to control this nation. They have understood that they cannot control by invasion, but they understood it is better to model them. So they've been modeling us and they've been working on us. So India, I personally feel, is at a crossroads as the global order, the world order is equally at. Entire the established agencies, be it United Nations, be it peace accords, be it the boundaries that have been drawn in this post-Second World War are being redrawn because everything is broken, everybody is confused. You feel that the world is going into a disorder. But let me tell you, nothing to get disheartened. The world is always has been in disorder. You ask all these elderly wise people, they have seen so many disruptions in their life. So disruption is part of existence. Now, in that, as a person, as an individual who is discovering himself right from his birth and, mentored, groomed, and brought up by their parents, influenced, cultured, cultivated, nurtured by the teachers and the society, the discoveries that we've been making, ఏదైతే మనం ఎదుగుతున్నప్పుడు మన తల్లిదండ్రులు మన గురువులు మనకు నేర్పిస్తున్నారో విద్యా బోధన సంస్కృతి సంస్కారం అది చేస్తున్న దాంట్లో ఆ డిస్కవరీలో మంచిని ఎంబ్రేస్ చేసుకుంటూ వైల్ వి ఎంబ్రేస్ దట్ గుడ్నెస్ దట్ హ్యుమానిటీ ఆర్ వి డిస్కార్డింగ్ దట్ ఈవిల్ దట్ కరప్షన్ దట్ రాంగ్ డూయింగ్ ఆర్ వి హ్యావింగ్ దట్ ఇన్నర్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ వైల్ వి ఆర్ గ్రోయింగ్ అప్ దట్ డిస్కవరీ. And these disruptions do not get disheartened. This is part of the human existence. So that's what I was trying to refer to these all elderly people, only elder in age to me, not old. So wise, you ask the amount of disruption that they've seen. So don't get disheartened. This is part of that. Do not lose your purpose. మన పర్పస్ ఏంటి మనం పోగొట్టుకోకూడదు. ఆధ్యాత్మిక చింతన, మనము ఆధ్యాత్మిక అవగాహన చాలా ఇంపార్టెంటు. కానీ మన భారతదేశ సంస్కృతి, the culture, the tradition, that values, if we do not stay connected, do not take pride in that, we will be again controlled and manipulated and modeled by the Western thinking. Now, if you really see parents are confused, what is progress, what is peace and happiness? We want our children to have best of the convent education, best of the Western education. We want them to make it big in life. Everybody is leaving their home, roots, and they're going abroad. They are not able to decide, have they succeeded or not. Children going and making their homes in Western countries, again serving for them, again serving for the Western countries. Are they serving for India? I don't know. I am not here to talk about that you should not send your children. I'm sorry, I'm not telling you that. Whether I say or not, what you will decide and choose, you will decide and do for your children. Please do it. But my pain point is, do not forget your roots, that is your parents. How much ever you go, make a life and living there, create wealth, fame, please stay connected to your roots. Look after the parents who have given so much, because of whom you are there and because of whom you are enjoying the life that you are. Look after your mother and motherland in whatever form. This is what I can tell you. This is that spiritual awareness. Spiritual awareness, yes, you can connect to God. You must connect to God. Who has seen God? If the very mother and father who has given you birth, you are not able to just look after them when she needs or he needs that one day care to take them to the hospital, what good is that value education? What good is that success? So we are so occupied. So we are confused somewhere. Progress, yes. I am not talking about not to progress, not to send, not to go abroad. Please do. You can do so much while being in country. Even once upon a time, I had a choice whether to go abroad. Even I was influenced because dollars, money, economy, richness, society. But I said no. There's something that moved me, that invisible force which drives all of us, draw that strength from that universal soul that God sends when you are at such a conflicting, ఇలా దారి ఉంది, నేను ఇటువైపు వెళ్ళనా అని అక్కడ నువ్వు నిలబడి దేవుడా అని అడిగితే నీకు రెండు దారులు సరైన దారి, నీ గుండె, నీ మనసు, ఇఫ్ యువర్ హార్ట్ ఈజ్ రైట్, ఇఫ్ యువర్ థాట్స్ ఆర్ రైట్, that God will, the creation, that Parabrahma will put you on the same path. I was confused like that. I was, enjoying. I was mischief, I was all that, but I had this thought, that spiritualness, that Indianness, but at the same time I wanted to do this. So he sent somebody who was not a success story by himself in a Giriraj Government College in Nizamabad. I was studying, and my good friend, there's a great friend, Sriman, he's my classmate, right from my 10th, he's here, he's part of this organizing committee, because of whom I'm here, I must share that with you. So he is much smarter, much intelligent. He went on to become scientist. He's worked in Australia and America, and again he's come back to serve motherland. So that's what, you may not be a military man to serve. You have to wear the love and passion for your country on your sleeve and do. He's doing his bit. So somebody who's not a success story influenced me. Hey, నీ లోపల ఉందిరా, నిన్ను చూస్తే ఏదో నువ్వు సాధిస్తావు అన్నాడు. That just had shaken me. I was so, enjoying my life and all. All of a sudden it jolted me. And I joined NCC, National Cadet Corps, a lot of discipline. And then, I went and saw what military is. I got inspired, and I have a story to tell. So when there was a situation like that in Kashmir Valley, in a broad daylight, okay, there's already a caution. Ma'am, the way they have cautioned you, I think I need to wind up. There's already a cheat. Can I take a minute? Minute is permitted? Oh, all right. So I did not look back. With the few men I had, without a single injury to the civilians, out of 5 terrorists that they were hiding in Srinagar, close to a place called Srinagar Gandarbal, I did not look back what will happen to me or my men. I ensured that not a scratch happens to my men. We succeeded in killing 2 terrorists, 1 injured and 2 escaped, of course. So what I'm saying is, believe in yourself. Spiritual awareness is very important. Please carry it. Everybody cannot be a leader. Before becoming a leader, be a follower. Follow what your mothers and fathers tell you. Respect them. Follow what your teachers teach, the values. Anybody who follows, he who obeys, is the one who actually can become a leader. Don't become a leader like a Hitler. Become a leader like Subhash Chandra Bose ji or Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji. One last thing. I think I still have 20 seconds, madam. I'm a military man. I'm keeping my time. 15 seconds. Shraddha se gyan milta hai. With faith and focus, you can attain knowledge. Yogyata se sthan milta hai. By attaining skill, you can attain a position. Vinamrata se मान मिलता है. With humility, you will get respect. अगर तीनों हैं आपके पास, श्रद्धा, योग्यता, मान, तो सम्मान मिलता है. You will be respected. One life saying that I followed, I'll take another 10 seconds. One life saying that I followed is, with honesty, humility and hard work, nijaiti, melukvatvamu, krushi, will take you to a place where luck can find you. నీ లోపల ఆ కృషి, ఆ నిజాయితీ, ఆ మెలకువత్వం ఉంటే అదృష్టము నిన్ను ఎక్కడైతే నువ్వు వరించాలని కోరుకుంటావు అక్కడ తీసుకెళ్ళి నిలబెడుతుంది. I believed and followed this in letter and spirit. All these 3 I maintained, and God has been kind where I am here today. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and time. I hope I have done justice. Thank you very much. It's an absolute privilege and honor to speak to you. Thank you, the organizing committee. Wonderful. Thank you, all the elders. Namaste, namaskaram. Thank you, Shriman.
Okay, before I thank him, I want you all to praise him with another huge round of applause. Wow, sir, thank you. Your words were full of courage and patriotism. I now invite Mrs. Madhu Bindu to speak on Understanding Brahma Kripahi Kevalam.
Harihi Om. Om Vishwani Deva Savitarduritani Parasuva Yad Bhadram Tanna Asuva. My pranams to all the senior Brahmos who were present here, who took lot of pain to attend this conference, who has highly prioritized this conference. Thanks a lot. And my regards to all my students who were present here. Harihi Om. సో ఏం కనిపిస్తుంది అక్కడ? ఒక్కసారి మళ్ళీ గట్టిగా, ఇంకొకసారి. So I seek permission from my senior members. Please allow me to speak in Telugu. Please. Thank you. సో యాక్చువల్లీ బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం ఇది చాలా పెద్ద టాపిక్ అండి. ఇది మన జీవన విధానం. దిస్ ఈజ్ అవర్ లైఫ్. అండర్స్టాండింగ్ బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం, ఇంప్లిమెంటింగ్ బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం ఈజ్ ఎ లైఫ్ స్టైల్. సో ఏదో స్టేజ్ మీదకి వచ్చి 2 మాటల్లో చెప్తే అర్థమైపోతుంది రేపటి నుంచి అందరూ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తారని కాదు. బట్ మనందరం ఒక సేమ్ పేజ్లో ఉంటాము. ఈ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ నుంచి మీరు వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు మీరేం తీసుకెళ్తారు? ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఏం తీసుకెళ్దామని వచ్చారు? ఇక్కడికి మహావేద పారాయణంలో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయడానికి వచ్చారు. దాంతోపాటు మీకు ఏదైనా మేము ఇవ్వాలి కదా. మేమేమి ఇవ్వగలుగుతాము? బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలంని అర్థం చేసుకోగలిగే మానసిక స్థితిని మీకు కల్పిద్దామని మా టీం మొత్తం ప్రయత్నం చేశాం. అందులో భాగంగానే 20 days ప్రోగ్రామ్ కూడా డిజైన్ చేశాము. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏదైనా ఒక మంచి విషయాన్ని చూసినప్పుడు మనకేమనిపిస్తుందండి? మనసుకి చాలా ఆహ్లాదం కలుగుతుంది కదా, మనసుకి చాలా సంతోషం కలుగుతుంది. ఒక మంచి విషయాన్ని విన్నప్పుడు లేదా ఒక మంచి విషయాన్ని నేర్చుకున్నప్పుడు, అంటే బేసిక్గా మంచి అనేది మనకి ఆహ్లాదాన్ని కలిగిస్తుంది. అది మన హెల్త్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, మన వెల్త్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, మన నాలెడ్జ్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, ఏదైనా అయి ఉండొచ్చు. ఏ మంచి విషయమైనా ఏం జరుగుతుందండి? మనకి మంచిని కలిగిస్తుంది. అయితే మంచి అని మనకు తెలియాలి కదా, ఆ మంచి మన దగ్గర ఉంది అని మనకు తెలియాలి కదా. మన దగ్గర ఉన్న మంచి మనకి తెలిసినప్పుడే మనకు సంతోషాన్ని కలిగిస్తుంది, అవునా కదా? వెన్ వీ రియలైజ్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ సంథింగ్ గుడ్ విత్ అస్, దెన్ వీ గెట్ ద హ్యాపీ ఫీలింగ్. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఏం చేయాలి? మనం మన బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ని తెలుసుకోవడానికి ప్రయత్నం చేయాలి. ఎవరో వచ్చి మనకు చెప్పేదాకా మనలో ఉన్న మంచి విషయాలు మనకు తెలియకపోతే మన దగ్గర ఉన్న మంచిని మనం తెలుసుకోనట్టే. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందండి? మనసు ఎప్పుడూ విచారంగానే ఉంటుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే మనలో ఉన్న మంచి విషయాలు మనం తెలుసుకుంటామో అప్పుడే మన మనస్సుకి ఆ ఉన్నతమైన మానసిక ప్రశాంతత కలుగుతుంది కదండి. ఏముండొచ్చు మన దగ్గర మంచి? ఇక్కడ పోస్టర్స్లో చాలా విషయాలు చెప్పారు ఆల్రెడీ కదా. మన చుట్టూ ఉన్న మంచి ఏంటి? ముందుగా మన జన్మ. అందరికంటే కూడా ఈ సృష్టిలో ఉన్న అన్ని జీవరాశుల కంటే విభిన్నంగా ఆలోచించగలిగేటటువంటి శక్తి కలిగినటువంటి మానవ జన్మ. అంతకన్నా పెద్ద బ్లెస్సింగ్ ఏమన్నా ఉంటుందా? మనం ఒక చెట్టులాగానో పుట్టలాగానో పుట్టుంటే ఇవన్నీ చేయగలిగే వాళ్ళమా? లేదు కదా. మనిషిగా జన్మించడం వల్లే, ఆలోచించడం వల్లే ఇక్కడ కూర్చున్నాం ఆలోచించడానికి ఇవాళ. సో ఇదొక పెద్ద బ్లెస్సింగా కాదా? గుడ్. మన చుట్టూ ఉన్న ప్రకృతి మనం ఎవ్వరికి ఏం చెప్పక్కర్లేదు. సూర్యుడికి రోజు ఫోన్ చేసి చెప్పక్కర్లేదు టైంకి వచ్చేయమని. చంద్రుడికి చెప్పక్కర్లేదు, అవచ్చి మనల్ని లేపుతాయి, అవునా? ఇది బ్లెస్సింగా కాదా? రోజు రాత్రి పడుకునేటప్పుడు పొద్దున్నే సూర్యుడు వస్తాడా లేదా అని టెన్షన్ ఉంటే మీరు పడుకోగలుగుతారా? రాత్రి ఎప్పుడు అవుతుందో తెలియకపోతే పొద్దున్నే పని చేయగలుగుతారా? నో. సో ఇస్ ఇట్ ఎ బ్లెస్సింగ్ ఆర్ నాట్ టు హ్యావింగ్ ఎ సిస్టమాటిక్ సిస్టమ్స్ అరౌండ్ అస్? ఎస్. మన చుట్టూ ఉన్న ప్రకృతి. ఇంకా ఇవే ఉన్నాయా? వి హ్యావ్ ఇన్వాల్యుబుల్ రిలేషన్స్ అరౌండ్ అస్, అవునా? మన చుట్టూ ఉన్న బంధాలు, అనుబంధాలు, అవి లేకపోతే మనం ఉండగలుగుతామా? సో ఇది బ్లెస్సింగా కాదా? ఆ బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ని మనం జాగ్రత్తగా కాపాడుకోవాలి. ఇంకా మనలో ఉన్న మంచితనం, మనలో ఉన్న మంచి గుణాలు, సహనం కావచ్చు, దయ కావచ్చు, క్షమ కావచ్చు, మనలో ఉన్న మంచి గుణాలు. ఓకే. సో దీన్ని నాకు ఓన్లీ 10 minutes టైం ఇచ్చారండి. సో ఈ 10 నిమిషాల్లో నేను ఎంత చెప్తానో మీరంతా జాగ్రత్తగా విని అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి, లేదంటే మైక్ ఆఫ్ చేసేస్తారు తర్వాత. ఓకే. సో మన చుట్టూ ఉన్న ప్రతిదీ కూడా భగవంతుడి యొక్క అనుగ్రహం వల్లే మనకు వచ్చింది. ఎందుకు? మనం అరేంజ్ చేసుకోలేదు, ఇవన్నీ మనం ప్లాన్ చేసుకొని పుట్టలేదు. ఎవరో మనం ప్లాన్ చేసుకొని మన పేరెంట్స్ని చూస్ చేసుకోవట్లేదు. డూ వీ హ్యావ్ ఎన్ ఆప్షన్? నో. సో అదేంటండి, బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం, భగవంతుడి దయ వల్ల మాత్రమే మనం ఇంత చక్కటి వ్యవస్థలో బ్రతకగలుగుతున్నాం. రైట్, అవునా? సో మరి ఇంత గొప్పనైనటువంటి వ్యవస్థలో మనం బ్రతుకుతున్నాం కదా. మనకెవరైనా ఒక చిన్న హెల్ప్ చేస్తేనే మనం థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్తాం కదా. మరి మనం పరమేశ్వరుడు ఇంత బాగా మనకి ఇవన్నీ అరేంజ్ చేస్తున్నందుకు థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పాలా లేదా? ఎప్పుడు చెప్పారు లాస్ట్గా థ్యాంక్స్? మీరు గుర్తు చేసుకోండి ఒకసారి. నాకు 2 నిమిషాలే టైం ఇచ్చారు, నేను మీకు 30 సెకండ్స్ టైం ఇస్తున్నాను. ఎప్పుడు లాస్ట్గా థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పారు మీరు? సో భగవంతుడికి థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పడం అనేది అకేషనల్గా కాదండి, కంటిన్యూస్గా ఉండాలి. మీరందరూ క్విక్గా ఒక పని చేయాలి. మీ అందరి దగ్గర ఉన్న బ్యాగ్స్లో ఒక పాంప్లెట్ ఉంది, పేపర్. ప్లీజ్ పిక్ ఇట్ అవుట్ ఫాస్ట్లీ. సో మనం ఏం చేస్తూ ఉంటాము, అన్ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్గా మన జీవితంలోకి ఏదైనా హ్యాపీనెస్ వచ్చినప్పుడు మనం థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్తాం, అవునా? సడన్గా వచ్చినప్పుడు. కానీ మరి ఎవ్రీడే మనకి ఇవన్నీ బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ వస్తున్నాయి కదా. చదవండి ఫాస్ట్గా. అందులో ఉన్న ఏదైనా ఒక బ్లెస్సింగ్ని మీరు డినై చేయగలుగుతారా? నో. సో మరి మనం ఎన్నిసార్లు థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పాలి రోజుకి? బుక్లెట్ కాదండి, ఒక చిన్న పాంప్లెట్ ఇచ్చాం, బుక్లెట్. యా, ద సేమ్. అంటే మన లైఫ్ మొత్తం భగవంతుడి యొక్క అనుగ్రహం మీద నడుస్తుందా లేదా? మరి మనం ఏం చేయాలి? ప్రతి క్షణం ఏం చేయాలండి? బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం అనే విషయాన్ని మనం ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయాలి. ఎలా చేయాలి అంటే, యూజువల్గా ఏం జరుగుతుంది, మనకేదైనా మంచి జరిగినప్పుడు మనం భగవంతుడికి థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్తాము. మన వల్ల ఏదైనా మంచి జరిగినప్పుడు ఆ క్రెడిట్ ఏం చేస్తాం? నిజాయితీగా చెప్పాలి. సో ఇఫ్ సంథింగ్ గుడ్ హ్యాపెన్స్ డ్యూ టు అస్, బికాస్ ఆఫ్ అస్, what do? Genuinely we take the credit, is it? Yes, we take the credit. If something good happens to us, we give the credit to Parabrahma. So మనకి మంచి జరిగినా, మన వల్ల మంచి జరిగినా, మన వల్ల ఒకరికి మంచి జరిగించినా, అది కేవలం 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 బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం. సో ఈ చిన్న పాయింట్ని మనం అర్థం చేసుకోకపోవడం వల్లే ఈరోజు మన సమాజంలో ఉన్నటువంటి లోటు, స్ట్రెస్, యాంగ్జైటీ, మంచి ఎవరి వల్ల జరుగుతుందో గుర్తించకపోవడం వల్ల ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లం వస్తే ఎలా హ్యాండిల్ చేయాలో తెలియనటువంటి ఒక ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుందండి. ఎప్పుడైతే డిసిప్లిన్డ్గా, సిస్టమాటిక్గా మనం భగవంతుడికి థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్తూ ఉంటామో దానివల్ల మనకే మంచి జరుగుతుంది. ఎలా? మనకి ఉన్నటువంటి బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ని మనం తెలుసుకోగలుగుతున్నాము. మన దగ్గర లంగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. లంగ్స్ ఎవ్రీబడి బాడీ పార్ట్లో ఉంటుంది కదండి. ఆ లంగ్స్ని కృత్రిమంగా తయారు చేయాలంటే ఎన్ని లక్షలు ఖర్చు అవుతుంది? ఆక్సిజన్ కొనుక్కోవాలంటే ఎన్ని లక్షలు ఖర్చు అవుతుంది? సో ఎంత గొప్ప లక్షాధికారులం మనం. మన చుట్టూ భూమి, ప్రకృతి, సూర్యుడు, చంద్రుడు, ఇవన్నీ సిస్టమ్స్ని మనం తయారు చేయాలంటే ఎన్ని కోట్లు ఖర్చు పెట్టినా చేయలేం కదండి. మనకన్నా ఐశ్వర్యవంతులు ఎవరున్నారండి భూమి మీద? అవన్నీ మర్చిపోయి మనకి లేనివేవో వెతుక్కుంటున్నాం కాబట్టే, బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలంని మర్చిపోతున్నాం కాబట్టే ఈరోజు సమాజంలో ఇంత నిస్పృహ, నిరాశ, యువతలో ఇంత అసహనం, ఆశ లేకపోవడం, ఆత్మహత్యలు, ఇవన్నీ చాలా పెద్ద టాపిక్ అండి. నేను వెళ్ళట్లేదు అందులోకి, నన్ను దింపేస్తారు స్టేజ్ నుంచి. సో దయచేసి ఇక్కడున్న అందరూ కూడా, పిల్లలు బ్యాక్ స్టేజ్, అర్థమైందా? ఏం చెప్పాలి ఈరోజు? భగవంతుడికి థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పాలి. మీ జీవితంలో జరిగే ప్రతి సంఘటన ఎవరి వల్ల? భగవంతుడి వల్ల. మీ చదువు, మీ గైడెన్స్, మీ లైఫ్లో ప్రతిదీ మన లైఫ్. అర్థమైందా అండి? సో నా రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే అందరికీ, మేము ఒక పాంప్లెట్ ప్రింట్ చేశామండి. ఆ పాంప్లెట్ పిక్ చేయండి. అందులో మీరు వేటితో ఏకీభవిస్తున్నారో, ఇంకా మీకు కొత్తగా ఏమనిపిస్తున్నాయో, ఇవేనా, ఇంతేనా భగవంతుని అనుగ్రహాలు? కొన్ని వందలు, వేల, లక్షలు. సో మీరు ఎన్ని రాయగలుగుతారు? మీరు చేస్తే డన్. మీరు అవన్నీ చేస్తే ఈ సెషన్ లాస్ట్లో కొంతమందితో అవి మళ్ళీ చెప్పిస్తామండి. ఓకే? సో నేను ఎంతవరకు నా టాపిక్కి న్యాయం చేశానో నాకు తెలీదు. భగవంతుడి దయ వల్ల మీ అందరూ బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలంని చక్కగా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తారని నమ్ముతున్నాను. సో వన్స్ అగైన్ లౌడ్లీ, బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం, ఏకం ఏవ అద్వితీయం బ్రహ్మ. బ్రహ్మ అంటే ఈ బ్రహ్మాండాన్ని సృష్టించినవాడు, ఒకే ఒక్కడు. దెర్ ఈజ్ నో సెకండ్ టు హిమ్. ద్వితీయము లేనటువంటి వాడు. మనం నేర్చుకున్నాం కదండి, నా ద్వితీయో నా తృతీయశ్చతుర్థో నాప్యుచ్యతే. రెండవది లేనివాడు. అట్టి ఒకే ఒక్కడైన పరబ్రహ్మ అనుగ్రహం వల్లనే ఈ సృష్టి నడుస్తుంది. మళ్ళొక్కసారి, ఏకం ఏవా అద్వితీయం బ్రహ్మ, బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం, బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను మీ అందరికీ థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పాలా? చెప్పట్లేదు. బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం.
Thank you, ma'am. You reminded us that gratitude is not just a word, it is a way of living. I request Uday B. Krishna sir to felicitate the dignitaries. Okay, before we start with the panel discussion, Bharat sir wants to say something for 30 seconds.
భావించిన వాడిని, గురువులు అలాగే. అందరి తల్లిదండ్రులకు ఒక విన్నపము, a small request. 120 Bahadur is a movie made on the same story that I narrated to you. It is getting released, I think next week or next week. I request you all, as part of this Brahma Krupahi Kevalam, you must watch that. Because after do your efforts is what God going to come and protect you and save you. You must take all your children to see that movie instead of Pushpa, Animal, అట్లాంటి ఆ చెత్త మూవీ చూసి వేల కోట్లు వాడికి ఇచ్చే బదులు ఇది దయచేసి చూపించండి విన్నపించుకుంటున్నాను. అయ్యా తల్లిదండ్రులారా, ఆల్ ది పేరెంట్స్, do not or encourage your children to not forget three people. Loving parents, the farmer who brings food on the table, the soldier who is defending the country, yes, of course the teacher. That's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we begin our special panel discussion on gratitude and blessings, a way of life. This panel brings together people from different walks of life: a doctor, a farmer, a scientist, a homemaker, a youth, and a lawyer. All different, but gratitude unites everyone. I request our moderator, Srimati Rekha Shani, to take the lead. Hyderabad, scientist and a Vedic teacher. Mrs. Lakshmi Boda from Hyderabad. She's a housewife. Mr. Debaditya Ray from Bangalore, software engineer, SAP Labs, youth volunteer, son of Mr. Debanjan Ray. Mr. Sarvesh Nayak, lawyer and social workers. Let us listen, reflect, and absorb. Let's enjoy the panel discussion right now.
interrupting the thought process of the panelist. As we are aware, the topic for this afternoon is gratitude and blessing, a way of life. I just start with the prayer that we say about gratitude. Teri kirpa hi mero aadhar, Teri kirpa hi mero aahar. शुक्र है तेरा हजार बार तेरी कृपा ही मेरो आधार तेरी कृपा ही मेरो आहार. Your blessings is my food. Your blessing is everything. As we gather here this afternoon, in an era defined by speed, success, and constant striving, gratitude often becomes the silent melody we forget to tune and hum. Yet it is the very melody that anchors our humanity, reminding us that every achievement rests on unseen hands, every opportunity is a blessing, and every challenge a teacher. Gratitude, when embraced as a way of life, transforms not just how we see the world, but how we serve it. As we gather here this afternoon, friends, let us move beyond the ceremonial just thank you to explore gratitude as a conscious philosophy, one that shapes our values, decisions, and leadership. Our distinguished panelists this afternoon bring a wealth of experience and authenticity to gratitude and to this conversation, reflecting how blessings and gratitude can transcend professional as well as personal lives, Today, let's together embark on a dialogue that celebrates not just success that we achieve, but the grace with which we journey towards them. We have 6 panelists this afternoon. We will take 2-3 rounds. The first round, I will request the panelist in just 3 lines. You will introduce your name, the city you are from, your profession, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Ashok Gurudas from Bangalore Brahma Samaj, and I'm a physician.
Hi, my name is Debaditya Ray. I stay in Bangalore and I'm a software engineer.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం అండి. నా పేరు లక్ష్మీ శ్రీనివాస్. నేను విశాఖపట్నం నుంచి వచ్చాను. నేను హోమ్ మేకర్.
Namaskaram, Hyderabad. My name is Sarvesh Nayak and I am from Mumbai. By profession, I am a legal consultant working with one of the Godrej Group companies. And by passion, I am an educationist, awareness creator, and want to be a social reformer, rather.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Sriman Mamidiala from Hyderabad. I'm basically a scientist with more than 20 years experience. Currently working as a director for Huel Life Sciences, Biorose Pharma, and Atharva Life Sciences. And my passion is into research, finding new innovations and solutions for current problems in the society, as well as learning spirituality through Vedas.
Hari Om, brothers and sisters, this is Praveen Vema. I'm a social entrepreneur.
Thank you. By the claps, you can make out who's getting the maximum. I guess they are Dr. Shriman's students you're teaching them, sir. That's why they're clapping the maximum for you. I will randomly ask questions so that the panelists and the audience is wide awake and don't go off to sleep, you know. So I will not be going in a line because we are sitting in a way we normally don't sit. So Dr. Ashoka, can I start with you, please? Yes, sir? Your decision to return from the USA to care for your parents reflects a deep sense of gratitude and duty. How did that choice transform your understanding of success and contentment?
Yeah, that's a good, interesting question. I came back from US as a physician. I had a very lucrative job there, but I am the only son for my parents. And my parents, they taught me the Brahmo way of life. And when I was there, my sister told me that, since I was so engrossed in US way of life, I was not ready to go back to India, when I was there in US. But I really, thank my sister today because I know no regrets at all since I returned back from US to take care of my elderly parents. And my parents had taught me good value system, as they were highly educated, and they had come back from UK bringing technology and knowledge in the medical field, and wealthy and powerful, but they never misused their strengths, they had everything, but they lived as if they had nothing. So I was guided by them, and the blessings are from my parents and my sister who guided me. And I came back, and I thank my wife for her support because, once I came back, I had to take care of my medical background and the horticultural business what my parents had done. And I'm very happy that now my daughter also has returned back from US, and the legacy follows. And now she is doing her Indo-Dutch training center, horticulture training, only private center of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. And for the young generation and the students who are at the back, I always tell my students that when the children are small and they are growing up, the parents reduce their pace to keep stride with the children. When the parents grow up, I think the children need to change their stride and walk so to keep pace with their parents. So thank you, Dr. Ashoka, for sharing that with us. Devaditya, the next question goes to you. As a young professional in the fast-paced tech world, how do you personally define gratitude in your everyday life?
Yeah, thank you for that question. For many people, gratitude is just a fleeting emotion that comes and goes, but it should be a conscious, rational awareness of the blessings, grace, and good fortune that life offers. It's a way of living, to notice, to appreciate, and to give whenever and wherever one can. As a typical techie working in Bangalore, the very first thing that I'm grateful for is simply waking up in my own home, living with my parents. As many of you know, coming to a metro city as an outsider can be challenging and intimidating. Escalating rents, difficult landlords, and unhygienic PGs can turn a basic necessity like a shelter into a struggle. I hear stories from my colleagues facing these hardships and problems from time to time. And every day, I thank my parents for giving me stability, comfort, and a space I can truly call home. Next comes the commute. My workplace is just a mere 22 kilometers away. But in Bangalore traffic, that can easily feel like 200. Without support, I would spend hours switching buses, metros, or crawling through congestion in a personal vehicle. But thankfully, my company provides me a shuttle bus that picks me up right from my doorstep. I simply get on it, close my eyes, and when I wake up, I'm magically transported to my home or workplace. And behind that convenience is a driver or multiple drivers who battle the same crowded routes every single day with patience and dedication. I try to ensure to thank them whenever getting down, as gratitude is most meaningful when expressed. I'm also deeply grateful for my job. Securing a role in an MNC straight from campus is something that many engineering graduates in India dream of, yet only a few achieve, according to few reports. Up to 80% of engineering students in India after graduation are left without a job. For this, I credit my parents and teachers who shaped my foundations all the way from kindergarten to college. And of course, in my current work, my manager and teammates who guide, challenge, and uplift so I can deliver my best. What I've realized is that gratitude is not about having the biggest or the best. It's about noticing what we already have and who we became because of it. It turns what we have into enough and what we know into wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Our first two panelists has focused exactly on what our previous speaker, Mr. Bharat, said. One spoke about coming back to the country, and he spoke about the parents, and that's what he was saying, that we really need to thank our parents for what they have taught us and what we need to learn from there. Lakshmi, would you like to go next? Lakshmi will be answering in Telugu, which we welcome, and if somebody would like to translate that later, we will be more than happy to have you on. Lakshmi, I asked you the question in Hindi or English? Anything? Okay. In your experience, Lakshmi is a mother. You're a mother, wife, and a housewife too. Tell me, when did you feel that you needed to thank God and you felt that feeling of gratitude towards the Lord? What was it that changed in your life that made that difference? So this question is between 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes that we have told the panelists to answer. Please go ahead, Lakshmi.
Yes, ma'am. ఇది ఫస్ట్ బ్లెస్సింగ్ అని చెప్పలేను, కానీ భగవంతుడు నాకు చాలా బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ ఇచ్చారు. ఆ బ్లెస్సింగ్స్లోని నేను మాతృత్వం మాత్రం నేను చాలా స్పెషల్ బ్లెస్సింగ్ అని అనిపించింది దానికి. ఎందుకంటే నేను ఇంటర్ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు నాకు మ్యారేజ్ అయింది. సెకండ్ ఇయర్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు నేను ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ కన్ఫర్మ్ అయింది. కానీ బ్యాడ్ లక్ ఏంటంటే నాకు తల్లిగా నేను బిడ్డను స్వీకరించే స్థితిలో లేను. మానసికంగా కానీ నా కుటుంబ పద్ధతుల మూలన కానీ నేను రెడీగా లేను. నేను కొన్ని రకాల పరిస్థితుల్లో నేను కొన్ని రకాల మెడిసిన్స్ వేసుకున్నాను. ఆ మెడిసిన్స్ ఎటువంటివంటే బిడ్డకు చాలా గ్రోత్కి, హెల్త్కి హార్మ్ చేసాయి అన్నమాట. ఈ టైంలో నేను ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ అని చెప్పేటప్పటికి నేను అంత హ్యాపీగా ఫీల్ అవ్వలేకపోయాను, యాక్సెప్ట్ కూడా చేయలేకపోయాను. అంటే ఫైనాన్షియల్గా ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది ఇంట్లో, కుటుంబంలో నాకు అంత ఇదిగా లేదు, నేను మెంటల్లీ కూడా నా హెల్త్ కండిషన్ కూడా అంత కరెక్ట్గా లేదు. ఏ టెన్షన్లోనే మొత్తం నా ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ అంతా గడిచిపోయింది. అట్లీస్ట్ నేను లాస్ట్కి ఒక 12 బిడ్డకి మాత్రం నేను జన్మనిచ్చాను. ఇన్ని 9 నెలలు పడిన నేను బాధ, ఆ దుఃఖం, ఆ బిడ్డకి ఏమైపోతుందో అనే బాధ, ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఒక్కసారిగా బిడ్డను చూసేటప్పటికి ఆ బిడ్డను చూసి ఆ ఆనందం అసలు ఇప్పుడు కూడా చెప్పలేను. నా మాతృత్వం స్వీకరించి నేను 25 ఇయర్స్ గడుస్తున్నా సరే ఆ ఆనందాన్ని ఇప్పటికీ కూడా నా కళ్ళలో అట్లాగే ఉంటూనే ఉన్నట్టుగా అనిపిస్తూ ఉన్నది నాకు. బిడ్డని భగవంతుడు నాకు ఇవ్వటం వల్ల నాకు ఏమనిపించిందంటే ఒక అన్కండిషనల్ లవ్ నాకు ఇచ్చారని అనిపించింది. బిడ్డకి నేను ఎంత ప్రేమగా నేను ప్రేమగా పెంచగలను అనే విషయాన్ని భగవంతుడు నాకు ఈ బిడ్డ రూపంలో ఇచ్చారని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను. ఈ బిడ్డను నేను ప్రేమించడం వలన నా కుటుంబ వ్యక్తులతో కూడా నేను అదే రకమైన ప్రేమను పంచగలుగుతున్నాను. ఈరోజు నేను నిజంగా చాలా లక్ అని చెప్పగలను. ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే భగవంతుడి బ్లెస్సింగ్స్లో ఈరోజు మీ అందరి ముందు కూడా నా మాతృత్వాన్ని, ఇంతమంది మాతృమూర్తులు ఉన్నా నాకు ఈ అవకాశం ఇచ్చింది ఆ భగవంతుడి యొక్క దయ తప్ప ఇంకేమీ కాదని మీ అందరి ముందు కూడా నేను సద్వినియోగంగా నేను చేసుకుంటున్నాను.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. I think the organizers have given some of the people great opportunity and platform to express themselves, so I would like to thank them specially. I know she was a bit, yes, you can clap for the organizers, please. Because, like I mentioned, she's a housewife, and it's such a beautiful platform to express our emotions in a larger public when we are not going out or when we women are not given the exposure. So thank you, Lakshmi, for sharing. Thanks a lot. I did not give Sarvesh a question, and I told him I will ask you the question impromptu that time, and I know you will be able to answer. So Sarvesh, I'm coming next to you. You can hold this mic. I'll ask you the question. So I have to express that yesterday evening's session had a great impact on some of us. And I heard Sarvesh saying he's not going to be a social worker and he's going to be a social reformer. So thank you, Mr. Ravi Shankar Vanda, for explaining that to us, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Sarvesh, how has gratitude in your life made a difference? And you have achieved remarkable success and received multiple awards, you know. How do you stay humble and acknowledge the contribution of others in your life? And if you would like to share in few words your journey as a law student, you have 2.5 minutes, please.
Sure, I'll try my best to fit in those 150 seconds. So, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'll share an instance. When I was in school, I was in a special school for visually impaired people because I'm also a visually impaired person. There in my school, we used to sing a prayer. It was a very small English prayer called as, "Thank you, God, for the world so sweet. Thank you, God, for the food we eat. Thank you, God, for the birds that sing. Thank you, God, for everything." As a child, I just by-hearted this poem without knowing its meaning. But if you go line by line, it sums up your day from morning till you sleep. And what not you can thank the God or thank the Supreme Being or thank the others for. That was one milestone. The other milestone came when I joined PCGT as an intern. Public Concern for Governance Trust is an organization based in Mumbai. I was interning there, and one of the segments, which was led by our beloved Rekha ma'am, Kuchor, therein she not only advised us, I think she forced us to do journaling. She called it gratitude journal. Before that, I wasn't into journaling and all, but when she forced us to do that, we started in the morning or sometimes weekly if we are lazy enough to write down things which we are grateful for or grateful about. I think these two experiences in my life have shaped my perception, my perspective, how I can be grateful about everything and anything around me, the people who are helping me, the people and the things and the energies because of which all the things have been able to be accomplished. I am sitting here in the amidst of this incredibly successful panel. So yeah, these are the two instances which have shaped my attitude towards life and making me humble and grateful about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarvesh. Thank you. So prayer and journaling, the gratitude thing. Yeah, on your left, it's Sarvesh. So Sarvesh was our intern online, and he was doing law. And friends, you all will laugh what he was talking about journaling. When I see my journal of 1999 or 2000 and so many years back, you'll be surprised. I've written, "Thank you, God, for the beautiful roses I bought in the market. Thank you, God, for the beautiful coriander leaves I bought in the market." So I've thanked God for everything, and I laugh at myself that it sounds so crazy, but I think gratitude really, really works, you know. Would you all want to shut your eyes for a minute and thank anybody in your life? Let's do that. Let's all of us do that. We just shut our eyes for a minute and thank people, Lord, anybody. Thank you, each one of you. Dr. Shriman,
Hello.
You're a scientist, you worked abroad, you've done different things. My first question to you is, your research in chemistry and nanotechnology has led to lot of good healthcare and innovation. To what extent has gratitude, both as a personal value and as a sense of responsibility towards society, influenced the way you pursue scientific breakthrough, especially through successes, failure, and the moments that shape the heart?
Thank you very much, Ureka ma'am. Thank you, Almighty, for this opportunity to speak and share my thoughts as a scientist, how my life was shaped into science and then into spirituality. First question, when it comes to the gratitude, I question myself, what is gratitude? To whom I should show my gratitude? To what extent? How I should show? Where I should show? So to get that question and answer, the quest started when I was in the 8th class, when I was listening to a Bohr's model of atomic model structure. So when I listened to the science teacher that electrons revolve around the nucleus, the first question came to my mind was, how a scientist can see these electrons, right? So these are cannot be seen by a naked eye. So the question and the quest, the sparkle started when I was young in a school age. That lifted me and shaped into my science, where continuously questioning started to my father, irritating many times, looking at sky and see why sky should be blue, why water should be like that, and what is that it is making so. So that question started in me and shaping towards my science, and blessed with so many basic science started from chemistry into biology, at the interface of biology and physics, into nanotechnology, into water, medical devices, metal industries, and so forth. So I'm so fortunate to be blessed onto so many of these areas of science. To start with, I was looking at, so you need to understand the chemistry of life as a scientist and to get an answer for my gratitude question. So if you look at the slide over there, the poster, human life starts from a single cell and forms a human being in 9 months to form 40 trillion cells around. And each 40 trillion cells will be organized into different organs like liver, spleen, leg, eye, and so forth. All these 40 trillion cells are communicating. If you look at the scientific perspective, each cell is an organism. So all 40 trillion cells are in communication with each other. How it can happen? So that question continued. So it continued so forth, so that I was looking at my eyes and says, where does this thought come from? So here thousands of people are there with all having same physical structure, eyes, hands, legs, and everything. But one question is always around, each and every soul is so unique that each and every thought is so unique. From where this thought is coming from? That question continued and continued so forth to understand more towards to whom I need to show the gratitude. I'll take a couple of examples. So we daily breathe, the oxygen is coming in from the nature, but how is oxygen is producing? It is from the photosynthesis, and the photons are coming from the sunlight, which is far away from 150 million kilometers, right? But in the sunlight, there at every second 4 million tons of hydrogen is burned. Who is doing it? To produce a single energy of a light, we are spending so much of money, so much of energy. Scientists cannot do that, right? But it is happening in the nature. Who is controlling over that? And taking those oxygen, if anything stops there, there is no life. Again, this oxygen is absorbed. I'll take a second example. It is carried through hemoglobin, right? So many people have talked yesterday about anemia, so forth. That hemoglobin bounds this oxygen to happen all cellular functions, right? And it contains iron, which is the most abundant element on the earth. How that abundant element is absorbed into your body? Can we make the blood? No. I'll take this third example. The earth is completely occupied by 70% of the water. Who is making it? As a scientist, can I make? Or if I make, to how many people I can do it? No. So these questions were continuously coming into the mind, and then I thought, like, this is something where even I can tell, maybe in my, this is I don't get that much time to explain. I can be explaining offline, but all this process, it happens. Many things are not in our hands. You have seen so many COVID time and all so forth. Many questions are unanswered. That question was there in my heart.
I don't have, as a scientist, all answers. So where do I need to look for my answers? Then when I realized that this is something which I need to look, and which driven to spiritual learning of Vedas. Fortunately to connect with Acharya Ravi Shankarji and Dr. Shashidhar, to name without which I will not be here. Learning those and balancing those things, then realized all this what is happening is the one which is coming with spirituality from the God. Once you realize that, then I thought I need to show the gratitude. How I should show the gratitude? Then as a scientist, what is I blessed with? I was blessed with in the chemistry at the interface of so many things. What can I do? So I started working whatever the opportunity that came. So many failures, starting from a small village, going up to the Scripps Research Institute, working with Nobel laureate groups and as well many multinational companies. So fortunate to be blessed with that. Then I started, what should I give it to this nature who gave me this life? Then I thought, so the environmental pollution is there, so I need to give purity of water, working in the water technology. There are so much waste generated. I need to solve those unresolved problems in the metal industry. And then healthcare. Fortunately, we have been developing affordable healthcare for like hemoglobin, TB testing, and many people are coming up. WHO has been signed for these tests, reduced drastically. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it's so very true that there are many questions which are not answered, and there are many things we receive from nature also free, and we don't value it, and it has to be some creator somewhere. Praveen, my first question to you would be, how do you view your role as a form of service rooted in gratitude? You come from a background in pharmaceutical science. How has your scientific training shaped your understanding of gratitude, not as an emotion, but as a disciplined practice?
To avoid the emotion, it is very difficult, Didi. So I'll add little emotion before I show my how gratitude shaped me. So anyway, I'm an extra speaker today. So I'll take this opportunity to reach to the maximum of the people in Telugu. I don't think this will have any problem. Okay, thank you, Didi. So గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ అంటే కృతజ్ఞత అనేటటువంటిది ఎవరికి చూపించాలి, ఎందుకు చూపించాలి అనేది నా క్వశ్చన్. సో అది నా క్వశ్చన్, మీ క్వశ్చన్ కాదు. ఏంటి గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ నేను ఎవరికి చూపించాలి, దేనికోసం చూపించాలి? గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ అంటే అర్థమైంది అందరికీ? కృతజ్ఞత, థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్తాం కదా. సో నేను ఎవరికి థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పాలి, ఎందుకు థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పాలి అనేది నా క్వశ్చన్ చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి. ఓకే, సో ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి, ఎవరికి థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పాలి? అది అన్ఆన్సర్డ్ చాలా రోజులు. ఎవరికి చెప్పాలి? ఓకే, కనపడే వాళ్ళకి చెప్దాం, పేరెంట్స్కి చెప్దాం గ్రాటిట్యూడ్, థ్యాంక్ యూ అని. అండ్ దెన్ ఎందుకు చెప్పాలి? ఓకే, ఏదైనా ఎవరైనా కొనిచ్చారనుకోండి, లేదా ఎవరైనా హెల్ప్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ చెప్దామని ఒక డెసిషన్కి వచ్చాను. సో ఎవరికి చెప్పాలి? కనిపించే పేరెంట్స్కో, ఫ్రెండ్స్కో ఏదైనా హెల్ప్ చేసినప్పుడు మాత్రమే గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ చెప్తూ ఉంటాం. సో ఈ క్వశ్చన్ ఏదైతే ఉందో, ఎవరికి చెప్పాలి, ఎందుకు చెప్పాలి అనే క్వశ్చను, ఇట్ ఈజ్ హిట్టింగ్ మై మైండ్. ఎప్పుడు కూడా హిట్ చేస్తూ ఉంది. until I met my great teachers like Ravi sir. So fortunately I am blessed with great teachers in the world. So then I started getting the answers. So when I realized Almighty, then I understood that all credit goes to Him, not to anyone in the world. So I started showing my gratitude to Him. So ఎందుకు చెప్పాలి? ఓకే, ఎవరికి చెప్పాలో కంక్లూజన్ వచ్చేసింది. ఎందుకు చెప్పాలి? ఫ్రీగా వాడుకుంటున్నాం కదా అన్నీ పుట్టినప్పటి నుంచి, అమ్మని, నాన్నని, ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ని. సో ప్రతి దానికి కూడా గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ చెప్పాలి. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ జర్నీ. ఈ గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ చెప్పడం అనేది, ఇవాళ గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ చూపించాము, ఇవాళ థ్యాంక్స్ చెప్పాము సరిపోదండి. ఎవ్రీ డే, ఎవ్రీ మూమెంట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు అన్ఫోల్డ్. ఎలా చెప్పాలి ఇంకా గ్రాటిట్యూడ్? ఇంకా ఏదో తీసుకుంటున్నాం అన్న మైండ్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది నాకు అసలు. అంటే ఎంత చెప్పినా కూడా ఓకే ఇది సరిపోదు, ఇంకా ఏదో తీసుకుంటున్నాం, ఇంకా గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ చూపించాలి. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అన్ ఎండ్లెస్ జర్నీ. వాట్ ఐ ఫెల్ట్, దిస్ గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ ఈజ్ అన్ ఎండ్లెస్ జర్నీ. I have to keep on thanking God. I have to keep on thanking everyone around me. So this is what I have learned from my life, Didi. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen. Thank you so much. The only thing that I could understand was his gratitude towards his teacher first. And I was just visualizing that I think by the end of the conference, our teacher should be standing in the middle and students should be standing on the side so everybody knows about whom we are speaking. Don't you think that's a...
Yeah, before teacher, I have placed Almighty.
Yes, I know you said that.
And,
no, you said...
I'm very blessed that I have received great teachers in the world.
I understood
Yes,
that also,
yeah.
but I was just trying to tell our teacher that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for keeping up with the time where the first question was concerned. I think with the second question also we'll be in time. Please stick to the time of what we decided. Dr. Ashoka, I come back to you. You have successfully blended agriculture, innovation, and sustainability through AgroTie. How do you see gratitude towards nature influencing the future of responsible business and farming?
Thank you. First of all, I'll tell you what AgroTie is. Agro, T-I-E, teach, inspire and enhance knowledge. How we started was, like when we returned back from US, I just saw that, like my passion was agriculture because my uncles, my grandfather had succeeded in horticulture and they wanted to do a lot of things in the nursery, the horticulture. So what I saw was, like we in our busy schedule, we don't know how, what kind of vegetables reach our table. And I saw that, like most of the greens and vegetables, fruits, which were delivered were contaminated and polluted and with lot of pesticides. So as a doctor, I felt that, this was not, correct. And then how I actually, like, we got connected to Dutch companies and Dutch government and formed this company. Another thing why, what I want to tell is agriculture is a very complex business. That is, most resource intensive. And farmers go with a lot of challenges. And we saw all those things, and then we thought that, we have to have a sustainable productivity, and we formed this AgroTie, and which we train hands-on to farmers, and right now we have trained about 7,000 farmers free of cost, and we are just giving a lot of inputs through Dutch technology and knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. We'll just hurry up with the second round. As we are speaking about food, I think there is a lot of food for thought, but we need to take over the food for the stomach also. So, Devaditya, yes, please.
Sorry, like, we just want to tell you, during my first question, I missed one thing. What I am proud of is, like, we started one foundation called Sikshana, where Prasanna is going to talk today. We have actually, through them, like, we have formed a foundation, and Prasanna is the CEO, where we have adopted about more than 50,000 schools. That's one of the things which I'm proud of, and that's the thing.
Wonderful, wonderful. I come back to you, Devaditya. In a generation driven by social media validation, how do you think youth can shift their focus from comparison to appreciation? I would request you to make it as short as possible, please. Sorry.
Okay, that's quite a big challenge.
We can do it. We can.
Yeah, with everyone owning a mobile phone and having easy access to the internet nowadays, children and teenagers are exposed to social media at a very young age. The early understanding of the world is often shaped by what they see online, the number of posts, stories, likes, comments. It creates a subtle but powerful sense of competition among the users, leading to comparison, which is the thief of joy and the opposite of gratitude. Now, social media presents curated highlight reels that often make us feel inadequate. In Brahmo terms, this addiction is comparison to the form of Maya, an illusion, because we compare a genuine, unfiltered daily lives with someone else's heavily edited fiction. Someone may post pictures with a shiny luxury car, and we immediately assume, oh, they have a lot of wealth. But very few know that the car may be rented, borrowed, or purchased on heavy debt. What looks glamorous on screen can be stressful in reality. To shift this mindset from comparison to appreciation, we need a fundamental change in our thinking. One is the outer metrics, another is the inner metrics. Now, outer metrics are the flashy external markers which are designed for comparison, like followers, likes, salaries, job, title, gadgets, cars. They are unstable, constantly changing, and controlled by the world. Inner metrics, however, are grounded in dharma, character, and personal growth. They include questions like, did I practice patience today? Was I kind to someone who couldn't repay me? Did I stand by my principle when it was difficult? These metrics cannot be displayed on a screen, but shape who we truly become. Even our faith's rejection of idol worship has a message here. We must not worship the idol of social validation. We must turn inwards instead. Our direct connection to the divine gives us value, not likes, not comments, not followers. We learn to appreciate others' success as an inspiration, not as a competition. The universe is infinite. There's enough success, opportunity, and blessings for everyone.
Thank you so much. We shall be looking into our inner compass and hoping the youth like you will make a difference. I think the four panelists will have to really go fast because we can see that people are getting up for lunch. So I will ask you to say in as few words. I have one question for you. There are many people who don't believe in gratitude because they don't have faith. What do you have to tell people how they can build their faith because of the life you have seen and how gratitude can play a part, please? कुछ भी, जो भी आपको, anything. Yeah. Whatever you feel like saying, don't hesitate.
ఏళ్ళు గడిచిన కొద్ది నాతో పరమేశ్వరుడితో అనుగ్రహం విశ్వాసం పెరుగుతూనే వచ్చింది. ఎందుకంటే ప్రతి కష్ట సమయంలో కూడా ఆ పరమేశ్వరుని అనుగ్రహం నేను స్పష్టంగా అనుభవించాను. ఆయన నా కుటుంబాన్ని ఎన్నో విధాలుగా కాపాడారు. కష్ట సమయంలోనే కాదు, ఆనంద సమయంలో కూడా నేను భగవంతుని ఎప్పుడు కూడా విస్మరించలేదు. నేను ఇందాక ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు యాజ్ ఏ హోమ్ మేకర్గా నేను తడబడ్డాను. ఎందుకంటే ఫస్ట్ టైం నేను స్టేజ్ పైన ఇంతమందికి చెప్తున్నాను కాబట్టిగా. భగవంతుడు నాకు బ్లెస్సింగ్ ఇస్తే నాకు అందులో ఒక లెర్నింగ్ కూడా ఉంది. ఎగ్జాంపుల్కి నేను మదర్ని అయ్యాను. ఎలాంటి కండిషన్లో అయినా అన్కండిషనల్గా ప్రేమించే మనస్తత్వం ఇచ్చారు. తల్లిని అవ్వడం ఒక బ్లెస్సింగ్, బిడ్డ పుట్టడం బ్లెస్సింగ్. ఇంపార్టెంట్ విషయం ఏంటంటే నా క్యారెక్టర్లో చేంజింగ్ రావటం, ఇది మాత్రం చాలా బ్లెస్సింగ్. పరమేశ్వరుని నమ్మని వరకు నేను చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే మన శ్వాస తీసుకుంటున్నామంటే అది పరమేశ్వరుని అనుగ్రహం మాత్రమే. దేవుడిపైన నమ్మకం ఒక్కొక్కరికి ఒకలా ఉంటుంది. నాకు మాత్రం ధైర్యాన్ని, శాంతిని ఇస్తుంది. మనకి బాగా కష్టం వచ్చింది, ఆ కష్టాన్ని ఎవరు కూడా తీర్చలేరు, కానీ ఎవరో ఒకరు వచ్చి ఒక హెల్ప్ చేస్తారు. అది భగవంతుడి అనుగ్రహమే అని మాత్రం చెప్పగలను. పరమేశ్వరుడి ఉనికిని మనం గుర్తించగలిగితే దాని ద్వారా మనలో ఉన్న మంచి గుణాలను మనం పదును పెట్టగలుగుతాం. మన జీవితాన్ని చూస్తే దృష్టికోణం మారుతుంది. జగమంతా కుటుంబం అనే ఒక భావన వస్తుంది. ఈ భావన కలిగిందంటే అది బ్రహ్మ కృపాహి కేవలం, ఆ భగవంతుని దయ తప్ప ఇంకొకటి కాదు అని నా నమ్మకం. భగవంతునికి మనకి నమ్మకం లేకపోయినా మనకి అనుగ్రహాన్ని ఎప్పుడూ ఇస్తూనే ఉంటాడు. ఆయనను వెతకపోయినా సరే, అంటే వెతుక్కుంటూ వెళ్ళవసరం లేదు, ఆయన అందరినీ చూస్తూనే ఉంటారు. విశ్వాసం అనేది పెద్ద పెద్ద అద్భుతాలతో రాదు, ప్రారంభం అవ్వదు. చిన్న చిన్న ఆశ ఒక ప్రార్థనతోనే మొదలవుతుంది. దేవుడు మనల్ని మన స్థితిలో మాత్రమే కలుసుకుంటాడు. అంతటి కృప, అంతటి ప్రేమ ఆయనది.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Sarvesh, I come to you. I know you have been inspired by the Brahmo Samaj, and you all have your own Samaj which you boys have started. And my request to the audience and participants is, after the panel discussion during the session of your lunch, you must talk to these boys. They have something called the Bharatiya Samvidhanik Samaj. They focus on the Constitution of India, you know. I want you to share an instance where, you know, expressing gratitude, you made it a practice, and this can enhance ethical decision making, the leadership in legal profession, because you're an advocate in legal profession. How can this help, especially message to the youngsters? I know the question is long, but the answer needs to be little short.
All right, ma'am, I will try my best. So first of all, Bharatiya Samvidhanik Samaj, we take awareness lectures and we try to educate people on their rights, and especially how to get those rights enforced, because most of the time people are aware of their rights but not the ways to get those rights remedied in case of their violations. Now, in this context, what does gratitude mean? So I'll give a 4-prompto stage. Firstly, gratitude means acknowledging and observing the world around you and noticing what's all is there. The second step is appreciating the presence of the things. The third is looking at the absent things, or looking at the challenges with a different perspective, perhaps the perspective of finding a remedy. And the fourth stage is, I think gratitude also means giving back. Now when we were the law students, we learned about so many rights. We observed that these are the problems, these are the things which the society is facing. We also studied about the challenges, but deep down we thought that what's the point of studying these challenges if it's not reaching the masses who actually need them? Because a law student is already privileged to have studied this, but others are not. So that was our fourth stage, that first we observed, then we appreciated the positive things, we could identify the challenges, and then came the last stage of giving back to the society gratefully whatever we have received through our privilege of having the privilege to be educated. We started this NGO, and what do we do now? We go to colleges as well as people from underprivileged backgrounds. There we deliver lectures, there we interactive sessions, we talk to them, we know them, know their day-to-day problems, and we try to fit in the legal mechanism present in the country with utmost practicality. How can they get their life bettered through those means? And each life impacted fills us with a sense of gratitude and being valued, or our presence being meaningful on this earth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarvesh. May your tribe grow and you keep doing the wonderful work.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Before I come to Dr. Shriman, please go ahead with your announcement. She has an announcement.
చిన్న అనౌన్స్మెంట్ అండి. మహావేద పారాయణంలో పాల్గొనే వాళ్ళందరూ దయచేసి సీట్లలోనే ఉండండి. ఈ ప్యానెల్ డిస్కషన్ అయిపోయింగానే రిహార్సల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, లంచ్కి వెళ్ళొద్దు, ఇక్కడే ఉండండి అందరూ. మహావేద పారాయణంలో పాల్గొనే వాళ్ళందరూ. A small announcement, those who are participants of Mahaveda Paranam are requested to stay in seats. We have the rehearsal sessions immediately after the panel discussion. The rest may continue to have the lunch. Thank you.
Thank you. We will just have 2 short questions and 2 short answers, like I said. Praveen, can I go to you first, please? You have a very desire and passion for growing trees and looking after the nature, what I understand, you know. Could you please tell us, in what way has nature taught you the quiet, patient language of gratitude?
Sure. సో మ్యామ్ ఏం క్వశ్చన్ అడిగారంటే, నాకు ట్రీస్ని పెంచడం అనేది ఒక హాబీ ఉంది. సో ఆ హాబీ నీకు ఎట్లా హెల్ప్ అయింది గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ చూపించడానికి అనేది మేడం అడుగుతూ ఉన్నారు. సో ఒక చెట్టుకి ఇవాళ మనం నాటి నీళ్లు పోస్తే అది ఇవాళే ఫ్రూట్స్ ఇస్తుందా? ఇవ్వదు కదా. సో ఒక చెట్టుని మనం నాటి పేషెన్స్ తోటి వెయిట్ చేస్తూ ఏం చేయాలి, దాన్ని రోజు నీళ్లు పోస్తూ దాన్ని జాగ్రత్తగా చూసుకుంటే ఏం చేస్తుంది, కొన్ని నెలలకి ఇవ్వచ్చు, సంవత్సరాలకి ఇవ్వచ్చు, ఫ్రూట్స్ వస్తాయి రావా? సో అట్లాగే భగవంతుడు మనల్ని కూడా ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు, పుట్టిన డే 1లోనే మన దగ్గర నుంచి ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్ పెట్టుకున్నాడా? పెట్టుకోలేదు. మనకు కూడా చాలా వనరులను ఇచ్చి మనల్ని పెంచి పోషించి చాలా కండిషన్స్ని ఇచ్చి మనకి చాలా హెల్ప్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాడు. సో లైఫ్లో ఆ ప్లాంట్స్ని చూసినప్పుడల్లా ఆ గివింగ్ బ్యాక్ నేచర్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అదే వాడుకోవట్లేదు కదా. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ యూజింగ్ ఫర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, దాని ఫుడ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఇట్స్ నాట్ యూజింగ్ ఇట్ ఫర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, మనకి దానం చేస్తూ ఉంది చెట్టు కదా. సో ఆ గుణం నచ్చి 10 మందికి దానం చేయాలి, 10 మందికి అన్నం పెట్టాలి అంటే ఒక చెట్టు నాటామనుకోండి, దాని నుంచి వచ్చే ఫ్రూట్స్ అందరూ తింటారు కదా అని ఒక ఉద్దేశంతో నాకు పళ్ళ మొక్కలు నాటడం అంటే చాలా ఇంట్రెస్ట్. సో భగవంతుడు ఇచ్చిన అవకాశాన్ని యూజ్ చేసుకొని తిరిగి ఆ భగవంతుడికి ఎట్లా గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ చెప్పగలుగుతాము అనేది ఆలోచిస్తే ఈ ప్లాంట్స్ ఏదైనా నాటితే ఎవరి ఆకలైనా తీరుస్తుంది కదా అని తద్వారా నేను భగవంతుడికి గ్రాటిట్యూడ్ చూపించుకోవచ్చు కదా అని ఒక ఉద్దేశంతో. సో ఇది ఎవ్రీ టైం పర్పెచువల్గా ఎవ్రీ టైం ఫ్రూట్స్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడల్లా చక్కగా నాకు కూడా పుణ్యం వస్తుంది కదా అనిపించింది.
Thank you, Praveen.
That was my hobby. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Shrivan, my next question to you is, how do you balance logic and faith in your understanding of blessings, and in what way has this balance shaped your approach to mentorship, humility, and using as a tool of empowerment, please?
Thank you very much, ma'am. As I said, to have a basic fundamental science in chemistry, getting experience into various fields at the interface of biology and physics is just a fundamentals. But at the outset, as is to show the gratitude once you realized what was your blessing from the Almighty, decided, so I spent many years and academic research for novel innovations, but I could not find for what I am doing for. Because a drug has to be discovered, it takes around 20 years. Then I said after 20 years of my research, I came back here and I was looking at the ground and looking at the problems at the ground. Then decided there are several things that I need to contribute this nature, to this humanity, my family, my friends, students, so forth. So during this journey, what I was learning from science, because science is a systematic enterprise which we are based on evidence, right? But once which it shifted my paradigm towards the spiritual sciences, where I could find my answers. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time to explain, but the qualities what, without my knowledge, what it was inculcating in me. First thing was the patience. When I started my career in my PhD, a reaction took 15 months, day and night. I could not get any results. I spent 1 more year in a project for industry. Now I failed. Literally, I was not sleeping for many years, searching for the solution. So I was thinking, if one day a reaction works, I was so happy. But again, problem arises. So I thought the patience should increase. To what extent? Likewise, still today, I can say, and I'm very proud that my extent of patience might increase to an extent of more than 25 years. Still, I feel daily I'm so fearful that it is not sufficient to solve the problem. So, when I'm balancing to Vedic perspective, learning so many of Vedas, what it exactly is telling, it is how to conduct yourself, how to speak, how to look, how to conduct, so how to give respect and so forth, to whom you need to show the gratitude, right? So in that, the 5 divine qualities which I learned from the Vedas are the same what I inculcated through my science. Then I was looking at this definition of the science. It is not only just to the material science. Spirituality is also a science to me, because I do daily, I need to inculcate it, right? So that was the learning lesson, and then decided without my knowledge. So one perspective was to solve the scientific aspects of these new innovations, problems on the ground, and I'm doing it. Absolutely fine. Not many people might know, but contributing towards the science, providing new innovations, fine. But what at the perspective of the new young generations, what should I do? Because the sparkle came in the school life, right? Which is very critical under 15 years. Then I decided I need to go and spend time with the children. So, but what should I teach? Science at this age, not a possibility. But as the two-way, all these divine qualities as the patience, as I said, I am so fearful, but to overcome that fear, I need courage, right? Still, I am so fearful today to see the problems of muscular dystrophy, autism, cancer, and so much. We cry a lot as a scientist to solve those problems, which are unanswered. Restless nights, sleepless nights, but still, the courage is coming from God. Again, the reset button which we have learned finally find out for the wisdom of Vedas. Again, so but learning these lessons, the second, the divine quality was the courage, and the third, you need the knowledge, right? The knowledge in terms of material science, but again, getting those from Vedas. And the forgiveness and kindness. I'll just take a few seconds. But because the question is so relevant to all the students, right? So what should I do for the next generation? It's not the science. Because this is a daily way of life. Either it's a science or a spirituality. You take right from your wake up, everything is a chemistry of life. You need to see. And as a scientist, I see every moment, every second is a chemistry there, is a science there, is a wisdom there, is a spirituality there. And that's what I am trying to inculcate till my last breath. That is my motto and that is my motivation. And that is how I am working with the kids. And that is how I will be. It's not just science. Everything is science. Everything is science. Everything is chemistry. Right from the connection between, as I said, with the people sitting here, people sitting there, the nature, the world, this universe and Almighty. Everything is connected in this world. And if you find those realistically how to connect, even science can explain. Trust me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm genuinely sorry to the panelists for rushing them so much, but each one of you, believe me, have contributed a lot to the session, and it has actually given me a very different perspective to blessings and gratitude. So thank you very, very much. Really sorry once again for cutting you all down at times, but I think the food is calling us, and we have to be thankful to the food and not make the food wait, you know. So thank you, the audience, for listening to us so very patiently. Thank you very much. Over to you, Kashish. You have any announcements? Thank you, everyone.
Your thoughts were heartfelt, practical, and full of life. I request Mrs. Sunanda Kar to felicitate the panelists. Also, let's have a big round of applause for Rekha Aunty first.
అనౌన్స్మెంట్ అండి, ఇది మహావేద పారాయణంలో ఉన్నటువంటి వాళ్ళందరూ ఇక్కడే కూర్చోవాలి దయచేసి. యా థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. బ్రాహ్మోస్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో ఆ పెద్దవాళ్ళకి ఇచ్చేసి సీనియర్ సిటిజన్కి ఇచ్చేసి ఆ రెడ్ కలర్ చైర్స్ దగ్గర నుంచి మనం కూర్చోవడం మొదలు పెట్టాలి. ఓకే, సో అలానే దయచేసి టీచర్స్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో మీ స్టూడెంట్స్ మీ దగ్గర ఉండేటటువంటి విధంగా చూసుకోండి. కొంచెం అటు ఇటు స్టఫ్లో వాళ్ళని టీచర్ లేచి ఒకసారి కనిపిస్తే స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరూ టీచర్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళచ్చు. ఎవరి టీచర్ వాళ్ళతో ఉన్నారా? ఒకసారి శాంతి మేడం గారు ఒకసారి నిల్చొని, మీ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉన్నారా మీతో? శాంతి గారు స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉన్నారు. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏవైతే పొజిషన్స్ లో కూర్చుంటున్నారో లంచ్ తర్వాత వచ్చి అవే పొజిషన్స్ లో కూర్చుంటారు దయచేసి. కాబట్టి దాన్ని బట్టి మీ సీట్స్ అప్రాక్సిమేట్ గా అరేంజ్ చేసుకోండి. ఒక సీట్ అటు ఇటు అయినా పర్వాలేదు, కానీ మరి సడన్ గా ఇక్కడ కూర్చున్న వాళ్ళు అటు మరీ వెనక్కి వెళ్ళిపోయినా మరి వెనక్కి కూర్చున్న వాళ్ళు ముందరికి వచ్చినట్టు అవుతుంది. అలానే కొంతమంది అంటే ఎవరికైతే స్పెషల్ అసిస్టెన్స్ అవసరం ఉందో వాళ్ళకి ఆల్రెడీ డిఫరెంట్ సీట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, దయచేసి అక్కడే కూర్చోండి. మధుబింది గారు స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరూ ఒక చోటు ఉన్నారా? లేదు. గాయత్రి గారు స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరూ ఒక చోటు ఉన్నారా? ఉన్నారు. ప్రవీణ్ గారు స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉన్నారా? దయచేసి ఫస్ట్ 3 rows సోఫాస్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో వీళ్ళంతా మటుకు షిఫ్ట్ చేసి మనకైతే మంచిదని మీ పర్మనెంట్ సీట్స్ లోకి కొంచెం